right now. Like a jungle rider like you right now.
We're live now. So
oh, are we?
We're hot. We're hot, Mike.
Oh, we're hot.
Mike.
Oh no.
God, we're hot. Dude, we're so hot.
No.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the
wish.
weekly DADCast. Your host James here with another very special episode of season 2. It's not very special at all, actually. I don't know why I said that.
It's
but
very special because Claude isn't here, which means that the ratio is 100% not off.
Oh no! Wait. Yeah, we're all white cast here today.
Every day is white day on the DADCast.
Every day. Thank you for joining us today. Today is actually going to be kind of special because Skylar and I are going to talk about high school for the big discuss. We're gonna recollect.
We're gonna talk about our amazing time in high school.
Yeah,
and about how James hasn't changed at all. So.
I've changed possibly for the better.
Hopefully,
but
I hope so.
I hope so. Well, we'll leave it up to the audience to determine that. But first, let's get to our fan questions this week. So if you'd like to send in your fan questions, you can send us an email at weeklydadcast@gmail.com or hit us up on Twitter at weeklydadcast. So Michael asks us, you sacrifice 3 years of memories from your life, but you become incredibly rich. Would you do it, Skylar?
Okay, so I was thinking about this morning. Do I get to pick which 3 years of my life?
No, it's the next 3 years of your life from that moment.
The next 3 years of my life?
Mm-hmm.
Nah, because I was thinking like if it was, I was like going through a whole thing where it's like, is it 3? Like, is it? Do I get to pick what 3 years of my past? I don't remember, or is it like 3 continuous years or what? And I was like, we're just gonna erase all of middle school. Because nothing of value happened there.
Nothing of value would be lost.
Except the only story I would lose is the one about how I broke my friend's leg that one time.
Wow, I can't believe you broke your friend's leg on purpose like that.
No, I mean...
I can't believe you did that, Skylar.
On purpose, that's like questionable. I did mean to kick him in the leg.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was like... Honestly, it's pretty bad. It was like... I was talking to my friend in the hallway. I had this other friend, who I was like, I don't know, I had classes with him, and he was like one of those dudes that likes to annoy you on purpose because he thinks it's funny.
Oh, so an asshole.
Yeah, but he was also like super goofy, so I almost didn't even mind because he was like I don't know, he was a goofy dude. And he was like, I'm talking to my friend, and he's like tapping me on the shoulder, like, hey, whatever, look at me. And I'm like trying to talk to my friend, so I like kind of like look back at him and like kick backwards into his shin, and then he falls over, and it's like after lunch, so we're all like filing out of the cafeteria, so it's like the entire grade is there at once. So he kind of gets like lost in the crowd, and I'm like, oh no, did I just kill Danny? And then I look back, and he's like dead, on his hands and knees, like reaching out to grasp me, like please save me. And I'm like, and then I get swept away by the crowd, and I listen. I'm like, what just happened? Did Danny die? Did I break his leg? And then he comes back like it was a Friday, right? So I get to stew in my like, is he dead now? For 3 days.
Did you just the Lion King, your friend?
And then on Monday, I come back and he's in a wheelchair. And I'm like, what happened? Apparently, he just had a weak knee and no one knew. So I kicked him in like the shin, and it shifted his fibula or whatever it's called, like the thing that connects your knee to your like knee socket or whatever. And it was like, apparently it was super weak, the like cartilage or whatever was holding it together. And that was that tiny baby kick from eighth grade Skylar was enough to
How long
break
did you
his
think
leg.
You were super powerful? Like you just had a really strong kick.
I had a really strong kick. I guess maybe I was like pretty fat in middle school, so maybe it was my legs were just really strong from carrying me all the time.
No, I mean like how long after the initial moment did you think like I'm some sort of super strong being?
Oh no, I was really worried I was gonna get arrested.
Oh, I guess that's about
like I'd have to pay his medical bills or something. I was worried that I was gonna get in trouble.
You probably were.
No, because we actually were friends, so he was fine with it. And then it just became a funny.
As long as it's cool with it.
And then it just became a funny story for us to tell in high school about the one time I left him to die in the hallway.
Brother, help me.
Anyway, I would not sacrifice the next 3 years of my life memories to
Okay,
Cambridge.
Michael, I'm pretty sure you got this idea from Payday, which is a fucking 90s ass. It's like 90s, early 2000s Ben Affleck film. I'm pretty sure you got that premise from here.
Wow, I don't even know what you're talking about.
It's a real obscure film. It's called Payday, in which Ben Affleck is given this exact situation where he's like, "Hey, yeah, give us like you won't remember the next 3 years of your life, but you'll be filthy rich." And he wakes up and everything's fine until he goes in to like pull out some money because he gets like $92 million in his bank account in assets, and and that's 90s money, so that's good money. Um, implying that it's not good money now, but he goes in and he's like, yeah, just sign this paperwork, and then he does, and it's like, all right, cool. Here's like here's a bag of stuff. None of it's and he opens it. He's like, wait, what? And he opens it, and it's just a bag of nothing. It's like dumb bullshit, like weird wacky glasses and like a watch or something. I was like, well, what the fuck is this? What about my millions of dollars? And she's like, that. What are you talking about? You just forfeited all of your assets for those items. What?
Oh, and then the movie's like, why did he do that or whatever?
No, the movie is that. Oh no, we've actually been like for the past 3 years, we've been using you as like a super spy for fucking dark shit. Because then he gets.
Dumb.
Yeah, it's super dumb. It's like Ben Affleck action movie vehicle. It didn't work out very well.
Yeah, like that's still the same now.
Yeah.
Cough, the Batman movie.
Cough, Batman movie. We actually have some Batman news, some disappointing Batman news actually later down in the docket. But
is it disappointing?
yes, because I actually found out something about it on my
okay.
when I was assembling the web pages and stuff for the stream.
All right.
The stream, by the way, is twitch.tv/weeklydadcast every
They
Saturday.
would know
at
that
4
because
p.m.
they're
Eastern
already
Standard.
watching it.
But the people who are listening on weeklydadcast.podbean.com, those people wouldn't know necessarily.
Wow, James with the URLs ready to go.
I've got it, dude. Like the stream overlay.
That's like, how do you only remember these things? These are the only things in the world you remember.
Dude, I have to. I'm the only one who's pushing the Dadcast. I gotta be here for that. I gave you and Claude the fucking social media, and you just
like you told me to retweet it earlier, and I'm looking at my Twitter. I'm like, I'm only followed by 2 people, and the people I know already in real life.
Oh man. Okay, but anyway, Anon asked, "What's your favorite Sakuga moment in all anime?"
Does it have to be anime?
Yeah, because
Okay.
it's Sakuga. I'm gonna say
Sakuga just means animation.
Yeah.
Well, it means drawing. That's what it really
I thought
means.
anime made it.
I mean, it's like literally it's a Japanese word. It's just like a community thing. Sakuga can refer to like Western animation too.
I'm gonna say my favorite Sakuga moment in anime is that moment from Hunter x Hunter.
Really?
That Gon does.
Yeah,
where Gon does the thing.
That's a cool thing. I feel like I had an answer for this prepared, and now I don't remember what it is.
Just say it's something from
Berserk 2016. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Like when I think about Sakuga cuts, and off the top of my head, I think about ones that I'm like, yeah, that's incredible, and I watch it a bunch of times. I think about like that cut from Mob Psycho season 1 and like episode 8 when he fights that dude in the alleyway and they shoot up into the air like 100 feet. Like that thing is incredible. I think about like that cut from Fulikuli when she's riding on the motorcycle like Daikon 4. No, sorry, on the bass guitar like Daikon 4.
Yeah.
And she jumps on top of the grenade launcher on the thing. And there's
anything from Hiseki no Kuni.
Yeah, there's some cuts in there that are pretty good. And Hiseki no Kuni is just impressive to me from like
the white diamond fight.
I think of
really good.
I think of like Space Dandy, like a lot of shit in Space Dandy.
I haven't seen Space Dandy yet.
Space Dandy is interesting to me because it's like I remember when I wanted to watch it in high school when it was coming out. I ended up dropping it because it was like not at all what people told me it was going to be. So I was like right after I got into like
Wait, what
you
they
know,
say it was gonna be?
well, because okay, so what it was is I was super into Cowboy Bebop at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and then people were like, "Yeah, so the guy who made Cowboy Bebop was going to make this new show. It's gonna be like that. He's gonna do a Bebop thing
Do
again."
it over again.
And I'm like, that's
No,
kind of
it's
cool.
like it's like with Cowboy Andy or whatever his fucking name
And
was.
it's like and it's like I mean I like Samurai Champloo, so I was like I was excited for him to do it again, just like with like a different group of characters kind of deal, right? But then it's really not that. It's so much not that it turned
It's a
me
lot
off at
more
the
vulgar
time. Well,
than
no,
it is
it's not even similar in the sense that like Watanabe didn't even really direct it. I mean, he did.
He did.
He's credited as the chief director on it, but the actual deal with Space Dandy is that he was like he's an older guy and he has a bunch of people that he's worked with in the industry, and he's always like, these people are so talented but they can never get shows they want to work on greenlit, so they're all just always making bullshit all the time. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this show with this premise that just has like infinite possibilities, basically, and then you get to do whatever the fuck you want. So every episode of Space Dandy has its own director and staff and art team and things like that. So there's some episodes that are contracted staff come on. Like there's one episode where like Gundam designers worked on it and they did like a fucking dumb race bullshit. My favorite episode so far is the one that's done. The episode was done almost entirely by one person. The Kiyotaka Oshiyama, who directed Flip Flappers. He did an episode where he key animated it, he directed it, he storyboarded it, he wrote the script, and he also he's something else. Oh, he did animation direction, which means like the backgrounds and stuff.
Did he do the catering too?
No, he didn't. He did all that shit. An episode is so good. It's the one in season 2 where they're like, you're on like the mud island planet, and they're trying to fish for this like legendary fish. It's a great episode.
Wait, so Space Dandy got multiple seasons?
Yes, two seasons of total of episodes.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, and so like it's a thing where like it's more similar in intent to like the Animator Expo than it is to like, you know, something like Bebop or Shampoo. Anyway, that episode of Space Dandy has some great shit. I fucking love the cut from an episode of Space Dandy that's Yuasa's team worked on, where they're trying to like it's the planet with the fish that's in the sun is going to come too close to the planet or whatever, and there's that bit where like the ocean is getting sucked into the sky, and they're on the thing.
That sounds cool.
That cut's really fucking good. I don't know. I think about there's too much shit for me to think about this. I don't know. So I guess I'll just leave it at that. I don't know what my favorite one is though. Those are just the ones that immediately come to mind.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, thank you, Anon and Michael, for sending in your questions. Again, if you'd like to send in your... Oh, God, hold on. Had that thing where you're talking and, like, your throat just wants to gargle.
Oh, shit. Yeah, and you feel it happening? Yeah.
Yeah.
It sucks. That happens to me a lot, because I have the... my throat used to get, like, inflamed, because I was sick a lot, and I had chronic bronchitis. So my throat, like, it's really, like, contracted a lot. It's very weird.
It's all those cigarettes you're smoking, dude. It's
yeah, I wish that's what it was.
you wish you were just had a horrible addiction.
Because then I could like stop it from happening.
No, you couldn't. It's an addiction for a reason. You can't actually stop it. You can just hold it back.
Here we go. James says that rehabilitation is not possible. You heard it here first, folks.
Nobody can be rehabilitated. Nobody. Absolutely not. But if you want to tell us all about your rehab.
Oh wait, I actually know what my answer is actually now. The part in the Kizu Monogatari movie 2, where he's running at the end.
Yeah. That's it. That's the one. That's the one. If you'd like to tell us about your rehab stories, please send us an email at weeklydadcast@gmail.com or hit us up on Twitter, twitter.com/@weeklydadcast. Yeah, so thank you guys. So we're gonna move on to our weeks now. Sky, why don't you tell me about your week? Tell me about your week, buddy.
What did I even do this week? I don't think I did anything. I saw one movie that I guess I'll talk about because it was really good. Other than that, I didn't do anything, I don't think. I mean, I played Celeste. That's a good video game. It's just a platformer, though. I don't have anything like intelligent to say about it. It's just a really good platformer. So play Celeste if you like those. But other than that, I saw the movie 8th Grade. It's Bo Burnham directed movie. Obviously, you know him. He was very big on YouTube for a while.
Yes.
And he also was on Vine before that, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he was until Vine died forever.
It did, and it's now back in the form of TikTok.
Vine, oh god, it did.
Yeah,
Fuck,
you forgot.
God.
You were right to say it was never going to come back, but it already did, and you didn't know.
But see, oh god, but see, the thing is that TikTok isn't Vine; it's Musically. It's an evolution of Musically because it's literally when Musically got bought.
Well, I mean, I know it's literally like Musically too.
Yeah.
But it's basically becoming Vine.
Yeah. Yeah,
Anyway.
it's kind of becoming Vine now. Yeah.
Anyway, 8th Grade is really good. Basically, so I feel like me as like an individual, I'm 22 right now in current year, and I feel like at my age, I'm in like the perfect like 2 to 3 year age range where that
Where you
movie
can start
is
dating 8th graders.
no, where that movie is simultaneously like I can relate to this as like a person, but also like, oh no, I'm far enough removed from it that I feel like it hurts my soul. Like I'm now far enough away.
Oh no,
from,
I can relate. Oh no, I can't
I'm
relate.
far enough away from the movie, from the time I was that age in the movie, to where I have like the nostalgic but like anti-nostalgia of like, fuck, wow, that was what 8th grade was like. Kind of thing, so I can still relate to the character's experience because like I didn't use Snapchat or anything when I was in middle school, like, and that's kind of a big thing. But I definitely like, used a lot of social media when I was in middle school. It was like I think like Twitter and like Facebook. Well, I think Facebook was still big when I was in middle school. Kids were on the Facebook when I was in middle school. James,
Yeah,
he doesn't like that
same
anymore.
Now kids are on all their Pornhub accounts. It's so bizarre.
Yeah, Pornhub, social media. Okay, wait. Speaking of, now that you brought that up, did you see that dude who is on Pornhub and he has an account where he just posts like wholesome videos? Like,
Yes,
I deliver a pizza, but I don't put my penis in it.
Yeah. Or I shake your hand after our date and don't kiss.
Yeah, that's pretty great. His
great.
website's also fantastic. Someone linked it in the Twitter thread I was in that had it, and in his
Somebody posted
website,
the entire Broly movie onto Pornhub.
Oh wow, that's pretty. What is it called? What's the title?
It's just DBS.
Oh,
Porn,
that's a
DBS
missed
Broly.
opportunity. It should have been called like Giant Ape Pounds 2 Monkey Twinks.
I don't think they're twins.
Maybe not.
No,
Maybe
it's three.
to
it's
Broly,
three.
everyone's a twink.
No, it's two. It's Giant Ape smacks down on 2 tiny Baras. I don't know.
Tiny Bara sounds like an oxymoron.
It is.
Anyway, yeah. So I'm like, oh yeah. So this whole movie, I'm watching it, and it's sort of like hurting me because I remember that it was a whole thing where it was either me that was the character in the movie, or it was someone else that was the character in the movie. Like I knew someone who was that person, and it was like so uncomfortably accurate to my experience,
did you see
down
the
to
movie?
the scene where there's a bit where she's like playing in the middle school band, and I think they got a real middle school band to play it, and I'm looking at the people in this middle school band, and I'm like, fuck, these all even look like the kids that were in my middle school band. Like it zooms in on the tuba player, and I'm like, fuck, that looks just like our tuba player from when I was in middle school.
Shit.
It
It
was
characters that reminded you of me.
Nubs. I didn't know you in middle school.
No, but I mean, I'm sure there would be a character you'd be like, yeah, I could see James being like that in 8th grade.
No, because it was more like, I feel like a lot of times what it was like the characters that you saw in the movie. Okay, so there's one character that kind of reminded me of you, actually, now that you mention it, who's the cousin of the bitch girl that goes to the school. His name is Gabe,
Oh
and
no.
he's like a well-meaning, well-intentioned, like wholesome boy, but he's like probably on the spectrum. Is I think is kind of what they do with him.
Okay. Thanks.
Like. Like
Thanks.
it's like his it was a thing where he was like the most likable character in the movie. He's the only one where I'm watching and I'm like, yeah, this kid. I wouldn't have mind being around this kid when I was in middle school. Because his introduction scene is like she's at this dumb party that she was invited to. Basically, it was her dad helped out some other girl's mom, and the daughter of the mom was like this one what a popular girl in middle school kind of character, right? She's having a party and she was like, you should come to the party because I know your dad. And she's like, well, I don't like your daughter actively doesn't like me, and I don't talk to her, so I don't want to go. She's like, you should come. And she's like, oh, okay, I guess I got to go to this party now. And so it's super like awkward at the party, and so the cousin kind of comes over. And his introduction is literally in like one breath. He's like, hey, my name's Gabe. Wants me to hold my breath for 20 minutes? And it's
Fuck, that's endearing as shit.
yeah, it was super good.
That's really good. I like that.
Yeah, there's a bit at the end where they like have a play date, and it's super cute because he's like, I don't know, he's a huge fucking dweeb. There's a bit where she like sits down at the table and he like made chicken nuggets or something, and then he like got all the McDonald's sauces, but he didn't know which one that she liked, so he lined them all up in front of the thing, and then he like leaves a certificate on the table, and he's like, oh, I forgot it's on the table, and like kind of like slyly picks it up and like kind of angles it like towards her face so she could read what it was, and it was like an archery competition that he won or something.
Jesus.
It was pretty good. And it's like, Bo Burnham is a comedian, right? That was like his thing. So it is like a comedy, but it's also like a drama type thing. The plot is like, it's very loosely structured. It's more just like this girl's like, her time in 8th grade and like a coming of age type deal where she kind of comes to terms with like her thing, who she is kind of deal. And what's cool about it is that it's framed through like social media interactions. So a lot of the movies she's like on Snapchat or on Instagram, and you see like the versions of people's selves that they like portray through social media versus the version of themselves they are in real life. She like has a YouTube channel where she does like what was that girl, like the girl that used to do like those inspirational type videos, and then she got bullied by 4chan. What was her name?
I don't know her name, but I know the person that's the one where the You Done Goof came out.
Yeah, that guy. And then her dad came on the thing. We're gonna backtrace your IPs or whatever. Yeah.
We're gonna backtrace your IPs. You're all going to jail. You done goofed. Yeah.
Yeah. It was basically she was basically doing shit like that. And the whole movie is like endearing and also incredibly uncomfortable. There was a scene in the movie where me and my brother were watching it together, and we both like grabbed something to hide our faces with.
Ooh,
because we were so uncomfortable.
I had that moment when I was watching what's it called? What's it called? Hereditary.
Oh, that's a very different kind of hiding your face, though.
No, it was the dinner scene. That was my hiding the face.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty bad. I
related too hard.
I saw that in the theater. I kind of felt it too.
I also saw that in the theater. There's nothing to hide your face in the theater, unfortunately. You just kind of have to stare and watch.
Yeah, no. Yeah, seeing Hereditary in the theater fucking. There was a bit in the movie where I could say that I was watching in the theater Hereditary, and it spooked me so hard that I felt my dick go back into my body.
Damn. Give me like a scene description.
It was like the bit at the end when like right at the very end, and there's a really quick cut where you see like naked people.
Yep.
Yeah, it was that exact. Yeah.
Is it around? Is it the establishing shot of around the house?
No, it's like the part when he jumps out the window. It's like that part.
I got more spooked by the by the establishing shot where it cuts to night and you see everybody, and it's like, oh,
that was creepy. But it really was just like the quickness of all the shit, where it's like you see the mom like up on the roof or whatever, stabbing herself in the neck, and then it's sort of like you get this thing where he's like, oh, he's not even alone in his room with her, and then it's sort of like what do I do? And then he just jumps out the window, and I was like, it was like my brain couldn't keep up with like the shit that was freaking me out.
Yeah. Like there's just new stimuli that's fucking with you.
Yeah.
Every second. Yeah.
But I think that's really all I did this week. I mean, I studied for my test thing, and I played RE2. I did do that. I did play RE2. Nice. I beat Resident Evil 2, Leon A, Claire B.
Cool.
That game is really fucking good. I got my shit rocked all through Claire B, because I learned after I did it that what spawns Mr. X during the B route is going into the hallway where the STARS office is. So that's how you spawn him. And so I got to this thing where I was like super low on ammo, and I was like, okay, well I know there's gonna be shit in the STARS office. I'll just go up there really quick because you get the valve handle super early in Claire B. So I was like, yeah, let's go up there and grab like this first aid spray and the fucking herbs and the ammo. And then I come out with like my 7 quick draw army bullets.
Yeah.
And nothing else. And he's there to punch me in the face. And I'm like, and then so he was just there from second 1 all through Claire B.
You can run into the STARS office and he won't follow you.
Well, yes. So that was like my thing. Durham was like watching me play, and he was like making fun of me for how lame I was playing. Right, I kept like doing a thing, and as soon as he'd show up, I would sprint to the STARS office until he despawned.
Yeah, well, that's how you're supposed to do it in a way. Like you gotta either
because I just had no resources at all, so it was really rough for like a couple of hours in the RPG.
These scenarios are like very clearly like you're gonna be scrounged for ammo because it does the thing where if for every spot that there's supposed to be ammo, you'll get either gunpowder or like a different kind of ammo than what was there previously.
Yeah, because it was a thing where Claire like almost never got handgun bullets my entire run.
Yeah, because you picked up all the ammo in Leon.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was really good about getting all the ammo in Leon A, and then I was like, oh
yeah,
no.
Yeah, it makes it a little rough. Yeah, I also played RE2 this week. I played a bunch of it. I also discovered the first person mod and the mod that changes Mr. X's theme to X Gonna Give It To You by DMX. So I've been having fun with those. The first person mod it's a little rough to get used to. There's some FOV issues you gotta kinda like finagle with, but there's plenty of settings to help with that. And then the X Gonna Give It To You mod
I'm dog sitting, and my dog is not my dog. Alfred is deciding right now that now is the time he needs to have fun and jump all over me.
What a cutie!
He's a precious boy.
Punch your dog in his mouth.
Please follow me on Snapchat. Taking pictures of Alfred once every 3 months because it's literally all I post on Snapchat. Is whenever I'm here, it's like, look at him, he's so cute.
Dogs are precious animals, and I prefer the dog than Veronica calling me all the time. Fucking Stacy, yes, Veronica.
Are you talking about Archie comics?
No. Anyway, also I played RE2. I got the S ranked Leon A.
Well, because big dick OG over here.
Yeah. Well, hey, well I didn't. I'm not that big dick. I didn't S plus rank it. So, but I could have, because all you have to do in that is just get an S rank, but only save a maximum of 3 times, which requires you to actually just play the game in one sitting, or maximum 2, and just never save. But I had fun with that. Played a bunch of it. Fuck, I played so much of it. What else did I fucking do today? This week? Oh my god, I'm actually struggling to remember. I want
Very
to say
sure.
I did something, but I don't think I actually did do anything. I think I only played RE2.
Yeah, I mean it
Um,
was pretty uneventful week for both of
uh,
us.
God, okay, well, fine. It was an uneventful week. Fuck. I guess we'll just move on to the waifu cast then. So Claude
Sure,
should have given you
he
our
did.
waifu
He
for
did
this week.
give me a waifu, and I almost misread it. And did one of the art did the answer he gave me is Hifumi Togo, or I believe she is Star from Persona 5. She is the shogi girl in the
I love her
church.
design, and I like that she's chuny as fuck about it.
Yeah,
Um, I'm gonna say she's viable.
yeah, I like her. She's one of those things where I'm really sad that she didn't actually get to be a party member. Remember, she was originally planning to be a party member of Persona 5.
She was originally planning to be a party member, but like the character that they had for her at that time was like a completely different character, so it wouldn't have
Yeah.
been like the same person.
Well, I feel
It
like
would've
they
just
probably would have gone for the similar gimmick, but would have been a completely different social link. Like she would have had like more stuff going on.
it would have been what Hifante or wait, hold on. Hin Hino Hifumi in name only. Hino.
Jesus Christ! You really
I,
tried for that one.
I really did. I had to count letters and numbers
Why?
and everything.
It's literally just replace the first letter.
Because fuck you.
Anyway, yeah, I really like Hifumi's design. I think that the Chuny shit is really fun. Her social link is like okay. It's not one of my favorite ones, but I still do like her character a lot. And her like what's the word I'm looking for? Her like concept art Phantom Thief outfit is fucking baller as shit.
It does things.
So yeah, so I am sad that she didn't get as much play as she was originally planning to get.
Yeah.
But I think she's really cool, and I like her. And I don't really have much else to say about her except that her red hair thing is cool, and wish that's more common character design trait.
Yeah. Hifumi Toga is viable.
Togo.
Officially. Togo, I'm sorry. Wow. I'm you know how big of a fan I am of Persona when I can't even remember fucking names.
Well, did you even play far enough to get to her, or did you
I
just clips of her online?
No, I got to her. I just didn't get to play far enough
okay.
to finish her.
So I guess I completely forget when that opens up for you. Because spoilers, I've finished my first playthrough without talking to her a single time.
Wow. Fucking terrible.
So she was one of those characters that I watched the social link online because I was like, well, people talking about this character, I didn't even talk to her, so I just went to see what the deal was. And yeah, I like her. She's cool.
She's a good girl. And
by the way, yeah, beating the king without talking to her once is fucking rough because her level 1 is like seems like it should be like a normal game mechanic you start the game with.
What's her level 1 again?
Unless you swap party members mid battle.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah.
Nice. I didn't.
That made the final boss a fucking like train wreck. Like it was still like I don't think I died ever doing the final boss, but it was like immediately I have just no SP. Like there was a part during that fight because he has a move that literally he has a mechanic where like if you do
it SP drain?
Yeah, basically it's a mechanic where you do a thing, and he's like, and he like basically puts a restriction on you for the fight, and I didn't understand what it was, so I did the thing that was restricted, in which so he puts a curse on you, and the curse is like randomized, and he just immediately hits Anne with the saps all SP.
Damn.
The curse, which sucks because she was like my fucking DPS powerhouse by the end of the game because she had like mind charge and all of her big dumb fire spells. So she was using like a fucking metric shitload of damage. Whenever she would do a thing, so that sucked. So she was basically useless for the entire fight.
Well, shit. Well, you fucked up, I guess.
I did fuck up.
So speaking of Persona, it's actually our very first news segment today. So I actually mislabeled this on the docket. I actually didn't understand quite what this was. But Persona 5 the animation has an OVA coming out called Dark Sun.
Yeah,
And that's supposed to be like the final part of the game that it's
because the
adapting.
anime ended right after Sai's Dungeon. For those who know what that entails.
Right. But we have a new special episode coming out called Stars and Hours. I'm not sure what this is supposed to be doing. But at the end of Dark Sun, which came out during the week,
it did come out.
yeah, it featured a trailer for a new special episode that was released.
Because I don't think Dark Sun finished the game either.
Oh, okay. Well, here's the synopsis. The politician who was the mastermind behind all of these cases has been successfully reformed by. However, the public's reaction was not as expected.
Yeah. So this is just the final dungeon then.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, final dungeon. This will be I guess the last bit of stuff needed for a full adaptation of the game. And it honestly doesn't look like the art got better.
There's some stuff that so I didn't see any of the show that looked better than the original bits, but the opening for Dark Sun was really good.
I'm looking at a frame of Futaba, and and they gave Futaba the fullest lips.
Yeah, I've seen some quality in caps.
Yeah, there's some good quality in here. I'm gonna post this in DADCast for you.
I'm super excited.
People watching the stream live can see it. I'm sorry for all of our audio listeners.
Oh yeah.
That's not a good image.
Yeah, no, that's not good. It's not good at all.
And then there's like the final what's the word? Stinger shot, I guess, where it's like all the whole party like in a circle. Nobody looks good. Nobody looks good or on model.
Yeah, it's not great. The OP for Dark Sun, you should try if you want to try down and watch that. It's pretty good. I like it. I mean, it's not. I feel like it's not as strong as I mean, it's a high bar to set to have it be as good as the OP for both the original game and Dancing All Night, and even PQ 2 has a really fucking dank opening. But Dark Sun's OP is pretty good. Like, I like it. There's a really great bit where he's like on like it reminds me of the train from Spirited Away, where they're on like this train, you can see like the ocean in the background, and everyone is like, it keeps like, you go through like a thing, and then there's like the people on the train change.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty neat.
I'm just not.
The anime is not
animations
good.
Other than the P3 movies have always been kind of hit and miss with.
P4 one was hit and miss, but it always was consistently great with however it handled, like, characterized you. Like, you was great.
You was always good.
Anime.
That's something I always heard was like you being like this kind of smart ass character.
Well, they also leaned into him being a man whore too. There's really fucking
too.
baller ass scene where Nanako asks, like, tells him like to his face, like, all the girls call you a man whore. What does that mean?
Yeah.
By the way, the worst thing about the Persona 5 anime is that they tried to make Akechi more relevant, which
you've
is
talked about
fine,
this before,
I guess.
Where they kind of push him into.
But they make him solve everyone's problems, which is whack, and I hate it. Yeah.
The real
Anyways,
main character was
this
Akechi
exists.
all along. Yeah, it exists.
If you care about the Persona 5 anime.
Yeah, it comes out in March, so I guess look forward to that. Well, we don't know. We do have a date for it. So Netflix's Ultraman adaptation came out with its Japanese poster.
It looks pretty sick.
Know. Yeah, that shit's fucking sick. The stream people can see it right now, but just look it up. If you're listening, just look it up right now.
Ultraman. I want to say it's based on the art from the Ultraman manga that they're adapting, which in that art...
Okay, it's an adaptation of the manga? Okay.
It's an adaptation of a manga. One of the recent ones. It's the one that I always post when I talk about, like, look at this fucking baller cover art. It's the same dude. I believe it's the same guy that's doing that did the Getter Devolution manga and did Line Barrels, the mecha series with like the really cool fucking like giant ass like medieval looking mecha.
Right.
And so yeah, he did an Ultraman thing, and so that's the manga they're adapting for this. So I'm pretty sure it's art from this is based on art from that, which is why it looks so good, and the show is also being done by I can't remember what the studio is called.
It's Production IG.
Well, no, Production IG is like the main thing, but I remember the people they basically when
Solar
I
Digital
looked it up,
Arts.
the people that was doing the digital shit, it was like their portfolio was pretty good. I can remember.
It's Sola Digital Arts is the name.
Okay.
I have the staff
Cool.
written underneath.
Yeah. So I remember correctly, they're also doing the new. They're doing something for Netflix. I think they're doing the new. That Blade Runner show. That's for Adult Swim. But I think they're doing that, or maybe it's one of those things. But it might be the Altered Carbon one. But it's one of those things that they're working on. And they also did like the Tekken 7 opening, and they did like the Appleseed live CG movie, and they did something else that was cool. So they're pretty good. Like I like their output. So I have hopes for this. And the trailers in the trailers for it are pretty good as well. So this could be a thing. Toku anime adaptations are exciting. I like them.
Yeah. So this comes out. I'm seeing some numbers next to some Japanese characters. I think it's April 1st. It comes out.
Maybe
on Netflix.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a 4 and a 1 next to each other, so I can only assume.
Yeah. Well, remember it's a not American date organization. So which means that the month comes before the day. So I guess you're right. Never mind. You're fine.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Yeah. Thanks, Skylar. Appreciate it.
Don't worry about it. You're fine. You're fine.
Yeah. Thanks, Dick.
No, I was just making sure that we weren't being idiots, but we weren't, so it's fine.
We weren't, because why would it be if it's 4/1? It's either April 1st or January 4th, and I don't remember seeing Ultraman on Netflix.
That's true. Never. Okay, it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, maybe it hasn't come over from Japan yet. You don't know.
No. What?
Remember when Ingress aired all at once in Japan, but we didn't get last episodes for like a fucking. I'm not sure if they're still out.
No, because I don't know what Ingress is.
Don't worry about it. I barely know what it is either. Although it was an anime that Kizuna was in. She was like a a news reporter or something in it. I forget.
Right. Hi, Tomo Kizuna. Hi, this.
Please don't do that again.
I'm gonna do it again just to spite you. Hi, Tomo Kizuna. Hi, this.
Why did you like lower your voice? You didn't even try to do like the
hi. Because this is what Kizuna I sounds like.
When she's off the clock, that's what she sounds like.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. That's exactly what she sounds like when she's off the clock.
You know that Kizuna I is a secret hot dog.
I could be a girl or something else.
Yeah.
So we also speaking of anime. Speaking of anime, we got a new trailer for the Konosuba movie.
Yes, and I think this trailer was very much needed because it has quelled everyone's fear and worry that the movie would look really weird.
Why do you think it would look weird?
Because the posters they put out for it look terrible.
Really?
If you go back and look at the posters for the thing, everyone looks really weird in them.
Huh.
Like the posters for the movie look really odd. Like characters look very odd in them. I remember looking at the thing and being like, these posters look weird, but the staff listing was already posted, so I already know that even though this is being done by a different studio, that it's still the same director, and that he's bringing over a lot of the same people. It's still the same animation director and character designer. So I was like, well, it's probably going to be fine. Even if these posters look really weird, and then so this just looks just like the show, but with higher quality animation because it's a movie.
I mean, the one poster I'm seeing where it has like Megaman looking at the camera and everybody else is looking off and looking forward. I mean, it doesn't look weird to me, and he looks fine.
Really? Are you sure? Is it post the one you're talking about? Because there's one. I think it's if there is one where he's like where they're like on like a cliff and there's like lightning in the distance.
Yeah,
or whatever.
that's the one I'm looking at right now, and it looks fine.
No, dude, her face looks really weird. Her chin. Like, I'm gonna post a screenshot of the show next to that, so you know, like that it does look very different.
I mean, I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, I know it looks different. I know what the show normally looks like, but I mean, I think she looks fine there. I think it's just.
I mean, I don't like hate how it looks. It's just like it looks like it's completely. I don't know. People where the art would be too different. It would look weird.
I don't know. I think this would have been fine to see. I don't actually dislike that art style at all. I think it looks good actually. Whatever.
I'm not a fan of the weird pointy chin.
You're a weird pointy chin. So
anyway, this trailer is it confirms they're definitely covering the book about the Crimson Demon Village, which is cool.
Well, I mean, we knew that because it's called. We knew that because we reported it on the name.
Well, yeah, it was the name, but that's not the name of the book. So people were like, maybe they're gonna do a thing with like an anime. There was the possibility it was gonna be an anime original thing about the Crimson Demons, but now because of the content in the trailer, it's confirmed that they are doing those volumes. I think it's like volume 11 or some shit. I don't remember.
You know what we still don't know though?
What?
Release date.
It's true. There is animation that exists.
For?
What?
You know what we also don't have a release date for?
Oh, that you're using a segue thing. Sure.
Kill if.
Yeah, it's true. We don't.
But we do know exactly how much it's going to cost, apparently, without knowing what's the actual content of the game.
It's true. We don't know pretty much at all what this game is going to be like, except for the fact that it's basically like a Naruto Ultimate Ninja.
Yeah, what if scenario where Eyebrows is actually the hero all along.
Well, she was kind of already.
Yeah, but now she's the explicit hero.
Yeah.
Now it's all about her.
She punks Ryuko early on, and she doesn't even really appear until the end of the game.
Yeah. So yeah, the pricing. We found out there's $100. So the standard game is $60, which already is like, man, this better have some stuff in it.
Yeah, it better have a big boy story mode.
Big boy story mode, yeah. And then the limited edition is $100. That had better have like a figure in it, or like a copy of the Blu-ray, or something.
Yeah, I mean it'll probably have a figure and like an art book and like in the what's the word? The soundtrack. Because that's a Japanese special edition. That's what that looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's probably what it'll have going on.
Yeah. Do you think this game rating?
It's T rating, yeah, probably will. Maybe it might get an M rating because anime stuff tends to get rated more harshly, and it does have like the blood thing. And also it's got it's got big titties everywhere.
The titties really is.
And they might have to do like the incest thing again. So like
the incest thing again.
Because that was the thing that happened in Kill la Kill, in case you all forgot.
Oh wait, they confirmed 2 more characters. Well,
Whomst?
Technically characters. It's just Ryuko and Satsuki, but they've got dual wield.
Ryuko and Satsuki akimbo version.
Yeah. Yeah.
How many Ryukos and Satsukis are we gonna get in this game? Do you think? Do you think we're gonna get Ryuko and Satsuki Blanco?
We're gonna get. Well, we know we're gonna get Satsuki with like her own full power.
Yeah, Ultra Instinct Satsuki, right?
Yeah, so we're gonna get 3 Satsukis, and we're definitely gonna get 3 Ryukos. And I wouldn't be surprised if we got like 1 more Ragyo, like some weird full power version of her. I could see that.
You think we're gonna get that girl from Fooly Cooly? You know, the one that's in this show for some reason.
Wait, what?
Yeah. There's that one character that shows up a lot of these in almost all of these Imaishi shows, where it's like it's not literally the same character, but it's the same character design. Where the tan girl with the white hair, who's in Fooly Cooly, and she's in Die Buster, and she's in this now. She's in Kill la Kill. Okay, yeah, and then she was the secret final villain that was from the OVA no one watches.
Oh God. we're definitely So like the third, we're definitely gonna get Junketsu Shinzui Satsuki because that we have that design. We know exactly what that looks like now. Um, yeah, I hope that this is.
I mean, it
more,
looks pretty.
It does, but it also looks boring.
It does also
Okay.
look boring.
I'm just kind of worried that like this is gonna be the one. This is gonna be ArcSys's like.
Well, they didn't develop it; they're publishing it. Remember?
Oh,
That's
that's
what-
right. This
that's
is
a big
made
thing.
by who made who's
Some
actually
bullshit
making it?
team that I don't remember what they did at all.
It's a something. It's a.
Oh, it's the team that made the Little Witch Academia game.
Yeah, that doesn't help. That's
No,
not good.
yeah, that's what Claude said. That doesn't bode well.
Yeah. So, you know. Yeah. So anyway, so Child's Play.
Dang, that was fucking impressive.
I
I can't believe you segued so fucking like
a trailer for Child's Play came out.
seamlessly.
A trailer for Child's Play came out. And if you don't know what Child's Play is, that was the first Chucky movie, which came out in like the 90s.
They were all called Child's Play, I think.
No, they weren't. It was
Yes, they were.
Chucky. It was the first one was Chucky Child's Play.
No, it wasn't.
It was
It
Chucky
was just
in
called
Child's Play.
It was just
Yeah,
called Child's Play.
Yeah, and then the second one was like Bride
Child's
of
Play,
Chucky.
Chucky's Return, or some shit. Bride of
No,
Chucky did exist.
Yeah,
That did.
that was
did
the
in
third
fact
one.
happen.
That was the third one. And then the fourth one was Seed of Chucky, where Chucky has to impregnate a
Oh,
woman.
that's right. He wants to. Yeah, I'm not sure how that was supposed to work.
No, literally a turkey baster.
But where did he get the semen from? He's a toy.
He was owned at the time by a single woman who was constantly looking for dudes to date.
But where did he get his semen from?
They killed him and then extracted his semen
Why?
because they had to impregnate. They had to impregnate stuff. I don't know how.
Who?
Dude, I don't know. I don't fucking know. Anyway, so
they had to. We have to get his semen from this serial killer corpse.
so anyway, no, it had no. Okay, so no. Chucky could just jerk off and come into a turkey baster.
He was a toy. He didn't have. What?
Yeah, no, don't worry about it. Voodoo magic.
What?
Yeah,
Where did it come from?
his balls that he had apparently.
What about the part in the first movie where they incinerate him and you can see that he doesn't have anything underneath anywhere?
Are you trying to imply that the Chucky movies aren't thought out properly?
Are you trying to tell me there's a Chucky movie where the plot is that he's trying to impregnate somebody?
Yes, because his wife wants him to have a child so they can have a family.
But he's a toy. He's
his
dead.
Wife wants a family. His wife wants a daughter.
Whomst?
Or wants a son.
You had a wife?
Yeah, that's what Bride of Chucky was. Remember? We just talked about this. We just talked about this. Anyway, so this is going to be like one of those soft reboots where none of that happened, and now Chucky.
So that's what we call a hard reboot.
Hard reboot, yeah, where none of that happened, and now Chucky is just a rogue AI.
That's
rogue
cool.
AI toy.
I do like that. Admittedly, like that a lot more than the soul of a serial killer got possessed by possesses a doll.
Yeah, and then has semen come out.
I'm gonna have the semen. Although the thing with the original movie that made it like that was kind of spooky about it was that because it was just a soul inside of the body, and the body was a fake thing. So like you couldn't really kill it except they just shot him in the heart and he died.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine.
So
also
right.
Fun thing, like usually Chucky movies
Alfred,
are just
no.
like Chucky movies are usually like just like fucking with one family or whoever's in the house. He's going at it in this movie. He's like we've got multiple characters having to deal with Chucky here. Just like
we're
the whole
upping the
town is
escalation.
going wild, it seems, in this trailer.
Yeah, maybe it's like a thing where like a bunch of Chuckies, their AIs go rogue, and
That'd
so
be
they
pretty
have.
neat. I'd be down for that.
Yeah. So
So,
there's
yeah,
just a bitch load of Chuckies all over this movie.
God, that'd be awful and really great. Yeah, I'd be down for that. I'd be down for. I don't know this. I'm not excited for it,
I'm
but
not
I'm like,
excited for
yeah,
this either, but I mean, it's fine.
I want to see what the reviews say. Is what I'm gonna say. I want to see what the
Sure.
reviews say. And then we also have uh a nice little movie featuring, unfortunately not featuring Michael Cera. I was really hoping when I saw this, but Shaft. Shaft is getting a
Oh yes,
pseudo
Shaft.
sequel.
This is what you call a soft reboot.
Yeah, soft reboot. That's also a sequel because now Shaft has a son that's all grown up, and it's Samuel L. Jackson, and his not I don't know who the other actor is, but his son.
Yeah, he looks kind of like Pharrell.
Yeah, yeah, I guess so. Um, it looks fine, I guess.
I actually had fun with this trailer. It's goofy. It's like
It's
a
goofy.
this looks like a pretty fun like action movie thing if you're into that.
Yeah,
Um,
this is a good one. This is a good
Like
time
if
to
you're a
really
fan
see
of
Shaft.
Samuel Jackson punching
Oh
dudes in
yeah,
the
yeah.
face, and like the remix of the Shaft theme in the trailer is pretty great.
Yeah, that was real good
Um,
too.
and the fucking cut of them all with the dumb red trench coats,
Yeah. Oh
like
yeah. There's also Grandpa Shaft.
yeah,
We get to
Grandpa
see Grandpa
Shaft.
Shaft.
Grandpa Shaft. There's a fucking the joke with there's a couple of jokes in the trailer that I thought were pretty good. So I'm
He's
kind of
like, "You're
excited
using
for
a knife
this.
again?" Like, nah, I shot him in the chest.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, bro, you're having a knife fight back there. And he said, nah.
Nah, I shot him. You ever heard of Richard Roundtree? Like, this actor looks familiar, but I've never seen him.
I don't know. I don't recognize the name.
Okay. Well, it's Grandpa Shaft. So,
Yeah.
in their fucking suede red jackets.
Yeah, dude. Stylish as fuck. Um,
It's pretty hype.
yeah. So this movie does looks pretty okay. It doesn't look amazing.
Yeah.
It's like Samuel. People have been saying Samuel Jackson should play Shaft in the Shaft reboot for a long time. So I feel like this.
I wanted the Shaft reboot to feature Michael Cera.
Why? I feel like
Because
this is a reference to something I don't understand.
because it was always it's just a joke that just like, oh, like it was from an old childish it was an old Donald Glover bit in one of his stand-up routines where he'd be like like somebody would say something and he was like, oh, it was right, that's right, it was about people getting upset about like changing races in adaptations. And he says like, oh, so we're just gonna have Michael Cera as Shaft, and he's like, yeah, that would be awesome. I'd love to see that movie. And like that was the joke: is Michael Cera playing Shaft in a in a Shaft reboot.
But that's
I'd
not.
love it.
I mean, that would be pretty funny. Alfred, I swear to
would
God,
be.
if you jump on top of me again, I will fucking kill you. Go sit on your
You
chair.
heard it. You heard it here first, folks. Skylar will fucking kill him.
I'm gonna beat up this dog. You stay right there.
This is all. This is all getting. I'm not cutting that out, by the way, Skylar. You're keeping that.
That's fine. He
So-
used to, like the microphone wires were all on top of me. So every time he jumps on my lap, he like threatens throwing the microphone all on the floor.
Oh. Oh, he's so sweet. So, well, speaking of
He's
Warner
precious.
Brothers properties, I mentioned earlier we're going to talk about Batman Beyond
You
animated
did mention
films,
that.
and I put that on the docket, and then it turned out, oh no, it's super wrong. They're not at
Oh,
all working on a Batman
it's
Beyond
not
film.
real.
Yeah, it's not real at
that
all.
was a big lie. I was big lied to.
Yeah, quote from Warner Brothers: "Not true. We are not working on an animated Batman Beyond movie." From
What about a
that's
live action Batman Beyond movie?
no. The only live action DC movie they're working on right now is a horror film Aquaman movie.
What?
Yeah. I'd have to find it again, but it's hold on. Uh fill dead air while I type.
Um. Okay. So you know how like Aquaman is super lame, and every time they do anything with Aquaman, they're trying to overcompensate for how lame Aquaman is. Like, because he's like, there's that famous gif of him riding on top of the fish, the fly fish from the 60s cartoon, like the Hanna-Barbera cartoon. And then now you look at like Aquaman in the comics, and he's like wrangling Cthulhu like a fucking horse, and he has like a sick, like he has
Alright,
like
I'm back.
his hand
So,
got cut
Warner
off, and he has
Brothers,
like a hook
I'm
hand.
back. God, you can stop. Warner Brothers is planning an Aquaman horror spin-off set in The Trench as a lower budget horror movie with none of the original main cast. So, not at all an Aquaman movie.
So it's just it's going to be a movie set in Atlantis,
in
or
the trench.
possibly with Atlanteans in it.
It's set in the underwater kingdom known as the Trench. Would be produced by Aquaman's director James Wan and its co-producer Peter Safran, who apparently has a long production history on horror films like The Conjuring and all those spin-offs. Let's see. The truck just the trench is full of approximately 1 million shrieking, ravenous, seemingly unstoppable monsters. I don't know anything about Aquaman, but I mean,
I'm talking about how that was overcompensate to make him seem cooler than he is.
yeah, because he's not that cool, so you got to do that.
So you got to have Khal Drogo play him in the Justice League movie.
Yeah, pretty much. It really be like that sometimes. Yeah. So we just went completely off topic of what I actually had in the docket, so I'm just gonna move on to Pet Semetary. Another.
Oh, I'm sad about the no Batman Beyond. I just want to get that out there. Batman Beyond's
me,
cool.
me too. But hey, you've got your lower budget, not at all related to Aquaman movie.
That's
Oh
true.
no. Oh,
That doesn't
shit.
that doesn't make me feel better. Thanks for that, James.
Anytime, dude. It's what I'm here for. So Pet Semetary had a trailer come out also. We knew this was coming out at some point, so we finally have our trailer for it. Seems like it's going to turn into a zombie movie. Also, this trailer shows a little too much, so I'm not going to play it in full on the stream because it shows a lot happening.
What do you mean turn into zombie movies? Isn't what happened in the book?
Huh?
So isn't this what happened in the book? What do you mean turn into a zombie movie? Did you
like
I didn't read that much of Stephen
all right,
King
so in Pet
books.
Semetary, it's like, it's almost like a monkey's paw in a way, but it's like, as far as from what I remember, it doesn't turn into a full-blown zombie movie where all of the undead are coming back, all of the dead people are coming back to life. It's just like a man having to deal with his daughter dying and coming back to life.
Okay.
But here, we're seeing like a lot of
Some bullshit about breaking the seal.
yeah, and stuff like coming, and like we're seeing multiple bodies coming out. I should admit I haven't read Pet Semetary either. I just kind of know a little bit about it.
So what we're saying is that you don't know anything about it.
Yeah, I don't know anything, but I mean this looks fine. It's made by the same people who did it, so
Same producers. That's you should say that it's not the same director, writers, or anything. The producers who produced it.
Well, I don't really like the direction that it had, to be honest. I kind of more liked its production values.
I didn't see the new remake, so got no feelings about that.
The It movie did a weird thing where it introduces all of these characters as like fears and everything, like the book does, but then it drops like half of them. And at some point, like I think some characters don't even get named properly. There's a point where like a kid is like afraid of a painting in his temple, and that shows up once, and then he runs from it, and then it's never resolved. It's never like outright shown that he actually got over that fear. It's just kind of a thing. And then when everybody's all happy and stuff, and he doesn't get a speaking line afterward, at that point, he's actually out of frame. He's actually like, so there's a point where like all the group is like there's two people like going like, yeah, we did it, right? And like and he's there in the shot, but he's in the background blurred because of the depth of field. So they're like, don't worry about him or the other kid. Like the black kid's problem doesn't get resolved either. It's bad. It's not a very good movie. Hot takes with James.
James, I hear.
Got my
talking shit on the movie I haven't seen.
I mean, I've seen the movie, so it's fine. I've also read the book, and I've seen the original movie. Um, so
I
let's
mean, the
talk about
TV series. I
Liam
mean,
Neeson.
it was a TV
Let's talk about
miniseries.
Liam Neeson.
All right, so I'm gonna need you to run this down for me because I'm not sure I entirely understand the situation that's happening.
Okay, so Liam Neeson has a movie that came out. For those of you who don't know, Liam Neeson is the guy from Taken. And I think
Also,
he did
Schindler's
some.
List.
Oh, well, thank you for ruining my joke, Skylar. I was gonna say, oh, also, some movie called Schindler's List. But thanks, you ruined my joke. Appreciate it.
Well, I thought you were gonna like. He's the guy from
No,
all those
maybe let
dime
me finish
dozen
a
action
sentence.
movies.
Maybe let me finish a sentence,
You're
Skylar.
not. You aren't allowed to tell dumb jokes, James.
Yeah.
I'm trying to save the audience from you.
Fuck you. Um. So okay, Liam Neeson from Taken and Schindler's List, right? He has a new film called out, Cold Pursuit. And he's doing his run of interviews and stuff. And at some point, for whatever reason, he talks about a time when he was in Ireland and he uh, he found out that his friend got raped by a black man. And he described. I'm going to read the full quote. I went up and down areas with a kosh, which is a kind of bludgeon, hoping I'd be approached by somebody. I'm ashamed to say that. He said this in his interview with the Independent, um, which was published on Monday. And I did it for maybe a week, hoping some, and then air quotes, black bastard would come out of a pub and have a go at me about something, so that I could kill him. That is the full quote. And I'm sorry. There's further. Let's see. He
I want you to
expressed.
stay really quiet so we can get some clean sound clips of this.
It was horrible when I think back that I did that. Um, and let's see, and I've never admitted that, and I'm saying it to a journalist. God forbid it's awful, but I did learn a lesson from that when I eventually thought, "What the fuck are you doing?" So for one reason or another, he decided to he decided to talk about this during an interview for his movie. Um, and it's really fucked up. Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, one thing I get being upset that your friend got raped. That's not a good thing. That's a bad thing. You don't go around looking to kill any random black person just because your friend got raped.
Yes, seems like a very this is a pretty normal lesson to learn.
Yeah. Um, I'm not sure what he expected when he talked about this story. I I don't know what he could possibly like. Why I don't know why this story came up, and I don't know. Oh, here it is. Okay, so Cold Pursuit is a story about revenge. Um, and the Independent's interviewer asked how he tapped into the mentality of revenge. So he was just like, "Oh, this one time I wanted to get revenge for my friend by murdering any black person I came across." So
Nice.
yeah, yeah. So that was the context for why he decided to tell this story. Bad move. Gonna say that right now. Bad move. Um,
Nah. What are you saying? What do you
so
mean bad move?
so the initial response was from the public when this came out was like, he's a racist. He's just basically he's a racist. That's fucked up. Why would you even say that? Why would you think that, etc. um oh, apparently this was also 40 years ago, so he was like probably in his 20s. um uh yeah. And then there's other people obviously who come out of the woodworks who says like it's not racist, it's just angry, had a heated gamer moment. um and stuff.
My favorite kind of moment.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah. Um. So, so Liam Neeson's movie apparently also got like it's not getting shown in certain theaters.
Due to the racism?
Yeah, due to the racism. So yeah, I'm gonna say this is definitely racist. Uh, and he admittedly shows that he regrets what he thought and did.
His words and deeds.
His words and deeds, but Oh, and then he also goes to say, like, it didn't, if it was anybody, it could have been a Scot, a Brit, or a Lithuanian. It would have been the same. But it's like, no, don't.
It's like, bruh,
You didn't
maybe keep that to yourself a little bit.
keep it to yourself, or
Maybe don't do that again.
yeah, don't definitely don't do it again. Yeah, just Liam Neeson, I love you, but just maybe keep that to yourself next time. Keep that inside. Keep that inside.
I like Liam Neeson's voice.
I do. I loved it when he played my dad in Fallout 3.
Cool. I forgot he did that. Did you like it when he played the dad in Ponyo?
No, because I didn't watch Ponyo.
How dare you?
I only watch good movies.
Look at this dude over here. Doesn't even like Ponyo.
That's why I watched Ben Affleck.
Yeah, that's why. What the fuck is that? Payday? Did you also watch In Time?
What? No, I
with
didn't.
Justin Timberlake.
Oh, the Justin Timberlake action movie vehicle? No, I didn't.
I like Justin. I like that you keep using the term action movie vehicle.
Oh, isn't that not what it is?
No, it is. It is. That's what most people call it. But I just think like it's just like
how frequently I say it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, for people who weren't familiar with what was going on with Liam Neeson this week, that happened.
Yeah.
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 What a great way to start Black History Month.
Yeah, I forgot that was a thing.
Wow, racist. You know what's not racist?
James, it's Heart Health Month.
God. I was memeing when I said that, but when I think about it, it's like, you know what? Maybe I wasn't memeing. Maybe I wasn't. But you know what is a meme? You know what's a meme that'll never happen? Titanfall 3.
Oh. Well,
so let's talk about Apex Legends now, and Respawn, and Titanfall 3.
Okay. So it's the thing where I learned about this. I knew that it was gonna happen before it came out, right? I was one of the people that I saw the leak, and it was like I thought they were gonna show the trailer during the Super Bowl, but they didn't. Anybody until the next day. So I saw it when it dropped, and I was like, "Yeah, this is a video game." But I found out that Titanfall 3 didn't exist. Like on Reddit. Like, it was like literally as it was put out, like the article or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so I just want to die inside.
Yeah. So Titanfall 3. Okay. So first off, let's go over Apex Legends. Is made by Respawn, who is the company that did Titanfall in Titanfall 2. They were bought out by EA in 2016, I believe, after Titanfall 1 released. And then Titanfall 2 released in between Call of Duty and Battlefield, so it died.
Yeah, it was pretty rough timing.
Yeah. Well, the thing is they got moved to that spot. They were going to release sometime before Call of Duty, and they were like, no, you're going to go in between Call of Duty and Battlefield now. And Respawn says EA had nothing to do with that, but I think we all know that's a lie.
Yeah, it's probably some corporate speak. No, Alfred, no. He literally keeps, oh god, he's like on top of my headphone wires. No, not my mouth.
Okay, I'm going to go, okay, so they released, a teaser and then a trailer, and then they eventually just released the game. Apex Legends is their free-to-play battle royale game that takes place in the Titanfall universe, but does not feature all of the nice things that were in Titanfall, like wall running, Titans, which were giant mechs. I
think people who know what Titanfall is know what a Titan is, James.
Yeah, well, I don't know. And grappling hooks. There's one character that has a grappling hook.
I thought it was a zipline.
No, okay, he's got a grappling hook move, and then his ultimate is a zipline.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And the game is good. The game is great. I've played it.
I've actually heard it's good.
Yeah, it's actually super fun.
Which makes me upset.
Yeah, it makes me. Yeah, it sucks that it's not bad, and that it's not like just an easy like you can't identify it as a cash grab because they clearly put work into it, and the reason they put work into it is because this game was actually going to be Titanfall 3, to the point where Titanfall 3 is still in its code. It's referred to as Titanfall 3 in the code.
You know what's some fucking bullshit?
What?
Is the statement they released about why there's no double jumping or
Yeah.
wall running.
Because we tested it before, and we thought it would make things too difficult to understand in the heat of battle and stuff like that, which doesn't make any sense.
It was already like that. You already did it.
Yeah, you literally already did it. I don't think what it is kids won't be able to get it right away.
Yeah, kids' brains are too small.
They're too small. They can't handle it. My little brother didn't want to eat his chicken nuggets that I got him because they had the wrong sauce. His nuggies. They're boneless wings, so yeah, they are nuggets.
Oh wow, yeah, so they are just nuggies.
Yeah, his nuggies didn't have the right sauce, even though he didn't specify what sauce it was.
James is still salty about the nuggies.
He's probably still salty about the nuggies. So yeah, so Titanfall 3 is not in development. Respawn said because this was going to be Titanfall 3, and they're going to be focusing on Apex Legends instead.
Now EA did that there is a premium Titanfall product being made.
Yes, they said. Let me find the full quote.
So I don't know what the fuck that means.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find the full quote here. EA also let slip that this is an article from Forbes. EA also let slip that related Titanfall experiences are in the works, though there has been no mention of Titanfall 3 since Respawn admitted they were not working on the game. So we are also working on more Titanfall for later in the year. Yes, I said the T word. We love being able to experiment in this crazy universe, and that comes from Vince Zampella, who is the head of Respawn. People are thinking it might be an RTS or some sort.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah, everybody wants. Wait, actually?
No.
Okay. I was just gonna say, an RTS would make sense more than a battle royale game. But it's still not what I want. I want Titanfall 3. I want my first person shooter and everything. But I'm not gonna get it.
I want triple jumps. They said they put triple jumps in and they took them out. What the fuck? Respawn?
Why'd you do this, Respawn? Yeah, so that's what happened with Titanfall this week. And that's what's gonna be happening with Titanfall.
That's like my soul is leaving my body.
Yeah, dude, when Wooly found out live on the Best Friends podcast,
yeah, dude, I saw that thing, and that's like
so bad.
It's one of those things where like people always make those like Simpsons, like I can pinpoint the moment when his heart broke in half and whatever things, but you literally could see his soul leave his body. Like you could see it happen. That was like the most disappointing I've ever seen like anyone.
The worst part was when he was like, "Well, can we try and like start a thing where everybody buys a copy of Titanfall 2 and on the day Apex Legends comes out," and he was like, and then he finds out it dropped that day.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you can't even fight back against it. It's already it's like in Watchmen. I already begun my plan 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, you guys listened to me monologue this whole time. The plan already happened. Y'all are too late.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so I mean, Apex Legends is fun, but go play Titanfall 2. The servers are still active. There's still people playing. Play it on PS4. That's where most people are playing, or play it on PC. Please, I need people playing on PC. But let's move on.
Titanfall 2 is really good.
Yeah,
people that play pilots versus pilots need to be shot in the streets, though.
What? Why? That's a good game mode.
No, not a fan.
No. Huh?
I mean, because I feel like it's important to the game for you to have like the asynchronicity of like the Titans versus the pilots.
Well, yeah, but some people just like the wall running and shit. Like that's fine.
Well, Stop
That
it.
wall running is literally what changed Call of Duty for 2 years.
Stop having fun, people that aren't me.
Well, Skylar, let's talk about Kingdom Hearts 3.
Fuck,
about something
we're talking about this without George's beard, but George has been dead for several years, so.
George is our big Kingdom Hearts fan, but I also am a big Kingdom Hearts fan. I know probably about as much as George. I actually, technically, I know more than George right now
God damn, get
because
fucked,
I know what
George.
happens in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Damn, George, get blown out on this podcast.
Fucking
James says he's a
George.
bigger Kingdom Hearts fan than you.
I am because I'm willing to spoil myself without having to play the games. Meaning I'm the bigger fan because I care more about the lore and the story. So first off,
Yep, that's what that means. Not
how many
it means
years
you
has
just
it
mean
been?
that you're
How many
impatient.
years has it been since
It's been like
we got
since
10?
when? Since it's been probably around 10. You see the picture of Haley Joel Osment because he voiced Sora in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
now he's like a man with a beard.
yeah. He's a director now too.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a good guy. He's a good director. I like him. I like his stuff. Kingdom Hearts 3 finally came out. It's not. It's real. It's real, and it's kind of disappointing. Which anything that's been this is Half-Life 3 at this point. Like, it was gonna be kind of disappointing in some regard because it's taken so long and everybody's expectations went up. But on a realistic sense, the performance of this game is terrible. On every console.
Like it runs poorly.
Yes.
I actually have heard. I've heard almost nothing about Kingdom Hearts 3.
I have been consuming so much Kingdom Hearts 3 lately. I've been watching Liam play it, and I watched the Digital Foundry video on it. So the game has all right. So the game's out on base consoles and pro consoles, right? Base consoles, the Xbox One normal runs it at 720p, and I think runs it like at barely 40. Um, like maybe, but it still fluctuates between that, like from like 25 FPS to 40 FPS. Never hits 60, and you'd have to change it to 30 for it to do that. The game also has poor frame timing, so it's really what's the word all right, for those who aren't familiar with frame timing is essentially when every individual frame like occurs, like that they're all happening on the same timing, on the same beat, I guess you could say. So some frames might show up slightly faster or slightly slower than others, and it's weird. Witcher 3 had a you can feel it the most with walk cycles. If you're running forward and a game has bad frame timing, it'll feel like the steps, the person's steps are like skipping slightly. Like
Is that why Jerry the Horse felt like driving a car?
huh?
Said, is that why playing Witcher 3 and moving Jerry the Horse around felt like driving a car?
Yes, actually, Witcher 3 had terrible frame timing on release. It was bad. So the pro consoles can't even hit 60 reliably because they focus too much on upscaling the experience instead of trying to get that solid 60, which is why the game has a stable mode which locks it at 30 frames, which is stupid because Kingdom Hearts 2 ran at 60 frames. Every game on the fucking collector's edition, or not the collector's edition, but the remixes, those all run at 60. There's no reason Kingdom Hearts 3 shouldn't be running at 60. It's on the most commonly used, most optimized engine there is. It's Unreal Engine 4. It's not hard to get that engine to make games run at 60. There's no reason it can't. So on the pro consoles, you've got shit like at the PS4 Pro runs it at a weird, not normal resolution. It's like 1112p, right?
Sure.
Yeah, and that runs all right. You got it runs between 30 and 45 FPS most times. But if you want it to run at 60, you have to go into your display settings on your console switch it to 1080p mode, and then turn off super sampling. Which it just lowers it from that weird number to 1080p, and then you're getting 60 almost every time. The Xbox One runs it at 1440p, so it has the highest resolution in general quality of graphics.
Is it Xbox One X or Xbox One normal?
Xbox One X, I should say. I'm sorry, but because it's even at that high resolution, it's still like it still fluctuates, and no console runs it at 60 perfectly, despite the fact that it really should. But at this point, there's no reason
because the game it looks nice, but it's mostly like an art style thing.
Yeah, it's mostly an art style thing, but oh god, I'm sorry, I'm such a stickler for fucking game performance, especially when we have these pro consoles. Because I'll be honest, I hate pro consoles. I hate the idea.
I also hate them as well.
Because all it is it's an excuse for game developers to be like, yeah, we're just gonna focus on the pro consoles to make this look as pretty as possible and fuck performance, because we'll just whatever, it's fine. They'll buy it. Fuck it. And it's like that. No, that's why Anthem runs at 25 FPS on the base consoles now.
Yep, that shit's fucking awful. Anthem looks like the worst thing in the world.
And then they've typically have like motion blur. I don't know if you've seen motion blur at low FPS, but it looks like trash.
Oh, I have. Don't worry, I have seen it.
So yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3.
All those Jim Sterling itch.io videos.
Yeah.
You see the worst examples of that, where you have the game running at like 10 FPS, but you also have like fucking aggressive ass motion blur. So it just looks like the worst thing in the ever.
So also, I've heard a lot of things about the game being too easy, even on the highest difficulty, and I can see it. Liam's in the in like his third or fourth world now, at this point, and I don't think he's died once, but there's a system in place called similar in God of War, where you'd have like a free revive.
Right? Okay.
You get to hold on to an item that's a free revive, but
like a Phoenix Down.
You're dead. Yeah, Phoenix Down, essentially. It's called it's a Kupo coin because you buy it from Moogles.
I thought there were no Final Fantasy characters in this.
I mean, Moogles are the shop owners. They've always been the shop owner. There's a Moogle shop, and that's how you do item synthesis, where you can make items and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, that's another thing. There aren't any Final Fantasy characters in this game.
Yeah, that's whack.
The closest you get is in the Toy Story world, and I won't say any more because that moment's really cool.
Is it a guy named Sid that's not a Final Fantasy Sid shows up and he's like...
No, there's no Final Fantasy characters that are already established. It's just Final Fantasy-esque characters. The worlds have the Disney worlds have pretty much nothing to do with the story, which is kind of typical still. Like that's par for the course at this point. The pacing of the game is basically nothing happens, and that's the first half, and then the second half you have here's everything happening now. And the end part is like the best part of the game, because that's when actual plot shit's happening, other than people coming in and saying, "Hey, Sora, you're a nerd," and then leaving. That happens a lot in this game.
Hey, Sora, you're a huge dweeb.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck, loser child.
Yeah.
By the way, you're gay. Where's your boyfriend at?
Basically.
And he's like, my boyfriend is inside of me.
As far as story stuff happening, I'd say most things get a good conclusion. Like they're paid off pretty well. Some things aren't, though. Some things are introduced in the game and then dropped. But we know that there's apparently two additional Kingdom Hearts sagas planned. So get fucked, I guess.
Sagas?
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, yeah. This is just the end of the Xehanort saga. We've got two more apparently that Nomura is planning.
Nomura, please.
No. Yeah.
Maybe those other sagas will make Kairi into a character.
No. This game could definitely use a final mix and also a critical mode. There's no critical mode in this game, which sucks. But I mean, maybe that's a final mix thing that I'm not. That's what it is. Um, yeah, just this game needs a final mix. It needs to be reworked. The performance needs to be fucking fixed. Um, yeah, there's a lot of things wrong with this game, but it looks pretty and it plays well. The gameplay's fun. It's just not very hard. Uh, attractions, those are pretty fun moves, but they're some of them are kind of nothing. And at least the game lets you go into the options and like change settings. So like, oh, the intros won't activate, or only some of them will activate and stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's James's Kingdom Hearts 3 rant.
I never played a single Kingdom Hearts game in my life, so I don't know nothing about Kingdom Hearts except that I saw some pretty fucking hilarious trailers for this game. It made me kind of want to get it just to see what it would be like. Like I've been watching the clip of Hayner drop kicking that guy like every day.
It's pretty good.
And then there's I don't know. I saw a bit where Donald Duck does a thing. I guess that's a huge spoiler, so I won't say it.
I know what you're talking about.
There's a bit where Donald Duck does a thing, and that's also really funny to me.
Where Donald Duck is actually super strong, apparently.
And Donald Duck, yeah, basically he becomes like Boner Donald Duck meme for like 1 second.
Yeah, just 1 second though. Yeah. So that's my Kingdom Hearts 3 rant. The best Kingdom Hearts games are 2, and then 0, and then Kingdom Hearts 3, and that's it. All the other games are terrible. Kingdom Hearts 1 is okay. I'll give it. It's the fourth one. It's the fourth best one because it's the first one. Huh? Kingdom Hearts 2 is the best one.
Okay.
And then 0.2 is the second best one because there's not a lot of story to it. That's the one that they came out with right before Kingdom Hearts 3 came out.
Oh, with Aqua.
Yeah, with Aqua, and that's it. And that one's good because the gameplay is fun, and it introduces the stuff that you're gonna see in Kingdom Hearts 3, and it's just more Aqua characterization, which is always nice because Aqua got a bad hand in Birth by Sleep. She really did. The voice direction they did for that actress was so poor. It really could have been a lot better. But Aqua herself is a fine character. But yeah, so it's 2, 0.2, Kingdom Hearts 3, and then Kingdom Hearts 1. Those are the good ones. Play those, you're good. Just don't worry about the rest. Google it.
Okay. What about 358 Days Over 2?
Watch that one. Just watch it.
What about?
You're better off.
What about?
Like, there's a reason.
Dream Drop Distance.
That is the worst one. That is the worst one.
Why is that one the worst one?
Okay, it's the worst one because 2 reasons. One, it makes the storyline even more confusing because spoilers. Hey, spoilers real quick. Skip to like 3. Give me 2 minutes. Skip 2 minutes ahead. I'm gonna have a little timer on me for right now. So 3, 2, 1. Dream Drop Distance is the worst because it introduces time travel to the whole thing, which is how Xehanort. Yeah, which is how Xehanort somehow gets the ability to have multiple of himself. So you get young Xehanort, you get old Xehanort, you get Ansem, you get Xemnas, which are his heartless and nobody. Terranort is yeah, and then there's Terranort, who is Terranort is Xehanort, or it
is Terra.
Yeah, it's weird.
He's Terra.
Yeah, he's Terranort. And then you've got some members of Organization 13 who are also apparently parts of Xehanort.
What?
Yeah, also Dream Drop Distance is bad because of this is the end of the spoilers. Dream Drop Distance is bad because it introduces a mechanic called Dream Drop, where you are on a timer to complete your either Sora or Riku's segment of the game. And in between, and if the timer runs out, you automatically switch to the and there is a mechanic in place to where you can like increase that timer or keep it from going down, but it doesn't it never stops completely. It's always going down at some point. And the problem with that is that when you don't beat a boss and that timer activates, it doesn't save the boss's state. So you have to start the boss over and you lose the items that you might have used at the boss fight.
That sounds pretty whack. It sounds kind of like It sounds kind of similarly whack to how shit used to work in not Odin Sphere, Muramasa.
Yeah.
Where you get to like you have to fight all the bosses at the end, the big long sequence. But because of the characters, you didn't have to play certain characters the whole time, so you run into things where characters are under leveled or under geared or under stocked, like you don't have healing items. And you gotta fight the boss with whatever state they were in when you beat their campaign. So you better have not used all your healing items fighting their final boss.
Yeah, I watched Cesar play that game on the hardest difficulty.
Which one, Muramasa or Odin Sphere?
Dream Drop.
Oh, Dream Drop Distance.
Yeah, I watched him play that on the hardest difficulty, and he was playing that game for several weeks because he couldn't. Like, there was a point where just like bosses are either they're taking too long, or you don't have enough items, and you have to now you have to be like I would see him have to go. He would be doing the run to the boss, and he would get into one fight with an enemy and be like, no, I can't, we gotta restart, and then he would have to load his save because he knew if he didn't do it in an exact amount of time, he wouldn't have enough time to fight the boss. And that's not fun. That doesn't look fun. That doesn't sound fun to me. So Dream Drop Distance is the worst
I hate
one.
this.
Yeah, exactly.
That sounds really bad.
Yeah, let's talk about something better. So Catherine, Full Body, is
Catherine.
Catherine. So Catherine is coming out soon-ish, probably. But Atlus is being Atlus again.
They're doing the thing.
They're doing the thing where you can live streaming and content sharing guidelines have been established where you cannot show any more of the story starting at the 6th day of the game. Or they will fucking attack your account and you'll be fucked.
Which they say this, but they didn't do it to anybody for Persona 5.
Yeah. But it's the fact that they're even trying.
Yeah, I mean, it's whack they're saying this shit. And they're probably gonna make us you can't use like the PS4 like built-in save features at all. Which was really annoying because whenever people wanted to save screenshots of Persona 5, they'd have to be like pictures from their phone of the TV.
Yeah, they actually specified stuff about the share function. Images from Catherine Full Body attained through the PS4's share function is only for personal use. You can deliver videos from the PS4 share function to the associated video sharing sites. When delivering content that relates to the story, such as event scenes, to avoid depriving others, customers of their enjoyment, please clearly highlight that story details are involved. Please do not live stream using other methods than the PS4 share function. Additionally, distributing videos with capture equipment from the PS Vita version of Catherine Full Body is prohibited. Do not reuse other videos content. Do not publish audio only. Well, that's fine because that's music shit, and you can't be sharing all that music. What did we please refrain from using streaming sites that require payment because that would be considered for commercial purposes. However, Nico Nico Premium service is excluded, and I wonder why that is.
Well, because I don't know. Because Japan.
Please do not post content to slander a third party, including specific players. That's a funny one. Okay, here's the release date. It will be released on PS4 on April 25th in Asia and Korea, and sometime in 2019 in the West. Hooray! Yeah.
Did you see the spoiler for Reed?
I did.
So we were wrong, but also correct at the same time.
Depends. I talked to Claude about that, and he was like, "Well, I mean, they look like they might be the thing that I said they'd be because they're minions." And I'm like, I mean, no. But yeah, yeah. Atlus is being Atlus again, but I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about our weird news this week, and our weird news also includes Liam Neeson. So I'm glad we got to talk about Liam Neeson earlier today. So for those unfamiliar with James's weird news, this is a segment where I just pull any article that's real. It has to be a real article, and we're gonna just talk about it. So, do you know who Michelle Rodriguez is, Skylar?
Yeah, she's an actress. I think she was the girl who got killed by the missiles in Avatar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to know? She says that Liam Neeson can't be racist. Do you want to know why?
Oh no, was this new? Was this a new thing you just learned?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Lay it on
Liam
me.
Neeson can't be racist because of the way he kissed Viola Davis in Widows.
What? Oh yeah, he was in that.
He was in that, and he kissed Viola Davis in Widows, which is a movie about an interracial couple.
Yeah, I saw the poster. I didn't see it. I saw a poster for it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give you the full quote here because it's great. It's great. It's all fucking bullshit. Liam Neeson isn't racist. Dude, have you watched Widows? His tongue was so far down Viola Davis's throat. You can't call him a racist ever. Racists don't make out with a race that they hate, especially in the way he does with his tongue so deep down her throat. I don't care how good of an actor you are. It's all bullshit. Ignore it. He's not a racist. He's a loving man. It's all lies. I like the idea that actors can't be racist because they don't play racist characters in their movies. Pretty sure that's not how that works.
I'm pretty sure.
I
it's
just
not
like
Rosa.
I just like the idea.
It is pretty funny.
I just like the idea that Michelle Rodriguez was so enamored by the kiss in Widows.
Bro, you see all the tongue? Jesus.
It sounds like she's getting off on it. It makes me uncomfortable to read it. It's like
yeah, the way you're reading that, it's like, well, I can totally hear it in her voice when you read it like that. It's like, yeah, that's Michelle Rodriguez talking.
Wait, especially the way he does with his tongue, so deep down her throat.
No, James.
No, stop it. She's like, stop it, Rodriguez, stop it.
I'm gonna ask you stop. Let's move on to whatever's next on the docket.
Yeah, well, what's next on our docket is the Learning with James segment. Hooray!
Oh, cool. Okay, so, in keeping with the tradition of Skylar and James only podcasts, I've decided that what we're gonna do is, for Learning with James, you're gonna do Neon Genesis Evangelion, but only the plot details, only the TV show and end of Evangelion. You don't have to do
the movies,
Death and Rebirth or Read the Rebuilds, and you don't need to do any production information shit at all.
Okay.
Because I've decided that this is either going to be confirmation that James is a real person and can remember things that he's watched, or we're going to completely expose you for the hack fraud that you are.
Okay. This is good. I like. Okay. So, Neon Genesis Evangelion is a story. It takes place in 2014. This follows Shinji, who was called over to Nerve headquarters in Tokyo 3, I want to say, by his dad, Gendo Akari, because Gendo wants him to pilot an Evangelion, as it would be called. He needs him to pilot Eva Unit 1 specifically, alongside with Rei Ayanami, who pilots Eva Unit 0, and Asuka Langley, who shows up later, who pilots Eva Unit 2. So, okay. My memory is always hazy with the sequence of events that isn't that after like I'm always hazy on what exactly happened with First Impact. So I'm not gonna speak on what First Impact was, but if I'm recalling correctly, First Impact was when Adam landed in Antarctica, and that was the extinction event for the dinosaurs, I want to say, and that's what allowed humans to thrive because they're all based on Adam's DNA. It's either Adam's or Lilith's DNA. I forget which one exactly. I think they refer to no. Okay, I believe angels are derived from Lilith, and humans are derived from Adam. I'm gonna say that. So Adam gets you know, trapped in what would become Antarctica. It was either Antarctica or the Arctic. I that part. He's trapped in ice essentially. Um, and in it's either 1994 or 1995. It's like a 10-year span, I believe, between that and the events of the actual series. But Masato's dad and his research team, along with Masato, who is there as a child, they
No, James, don't look in. No, James, don't look in DADCast. I accidentally posted up by accident.
it's too late. I'm already saying.
No, don't. No, shut up. You stop it.
It's too late. Oh man, I'm already wrong. Damn.
You're already wrong. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Because I keep.
Those are small. Like,
It's true, but it's a thing where I keep trying to like do line breaks, but you have to press shift and enter, and that's whack.
Yeah. So Misato and her dad, well, her dad and her research team, they're investigating what's going on with Adam in the Arctic or whatever. And I'm not sure exactly what happens, but they essentially trigger what would become Second Impact. Second Impact kills what was it, half of the human population. Misato manages to survive because her dad puts her into like a tube of some sort that's able to protect her from the oncoming explosion. Which ends up giving Masato a bunch of daddy issues because her dad always focused on working with Nerve, and then she's like, well, I mean, I'm gonna get over my dad, he was an asshole. But then she ends up working for Nerve, and she's like, well, shit, now I'm working for the thing that my dad used as like a way to get away from the family. Oh, now I have all these men issues that I can't trust them. Now I have to use sex because it's the only way I can cope with all my feelings that I have. Anyway, so that's Second Impact. Second Impact kills like half of the planet's population. Because of the explosion, the ice caps melt, world floods, which is why you see so many flooded cities in the main series. It's rough. It was a rough time. And then angels start appearing sometime after that. There were two prior to the events of the main series that showed up. I'm not sure how they combated those. I don't know if they ever specify in the show how they did. I assume it would have to be Ray or some other force, some other military force they were able to utilize before the Evas were finished. So yeah, that's the lead up to the series proper when it starts. At that point, Shinji has to deal with constantly having to do what he's told, despite not wanting to pilot the Eva because it's really traumatic to do it. It's the physical strain of like feeling your body parts being attacked and everything. The mental strain of like the whole world is relying on you to save the day, and the world hasn't exactly done you any favors if your name's Shinji Ikari. So also having to deal with that reality of just like there's nothing like woof. And as the series progresses, more and more angels start showing up. We eventually get Rei and Asuka being introduced. Rei turns out is a clone of Shinji's mom, Gendo's wife, because it turns out that Evas are some sort of biological, bioengineered thing, mech, that requires like the soul or the essence of a mother. So Eva Unit 1 is Shinji's mom. Rei, because she's a clone of Shinji's mom, doesn't actually... They use like a dummy plug system, I believe. I'm not quite sure exactly how that worked. I believe they use a dummy plug system in order to get Rei to properly like operate in Eva. Dummy plug system like simulates the connection that the mother child synchro whatever would operate as. Asuka, she's got a bunch of issues. Her mom had some sort of mental illness where she just got detached, and just started saying, "Oh well, this doll is my daughter. I don't the actual child that I have is not my daughter. It's some whatever." That fucks with Asuka a lot. She ends up developing an issue where she wants to be seen as an adult, to the point of having a crush on what's his name, Kaji, who is a former lover of Masato's. Kaji obviously doesn't reciprocate Asuka's feelings, which really upsets her because she wants to, and she also has feelings for Shinji without really realizing it at the time. But she knows that there's some feelings that are there, and that upsets her because Shinji is the most not adult person ever. He's very childish at times, very arrogant sometimes. It's kind of an asshole in other times, and she hates that. She hates that she has feelings for Shinji, so she takes it out a lot on Shinji himself. Anyway, so the whole thing with Kaji and realizing that she won't be seen as an adult as she is now, she gets really depressed. She goes missing for like several days. Sometime before that, Shinji gets sucked inside of an angel at some point for like a month, and that fucks with him, and he doesn't like that very much. Ray ends up actually developing actually developing feelings for other people other than Gendo. I don't know, for one reason or another, possibly just because of like Gendo saving Ray at one point. She gets really attached to Gendo and doesn't emote really near anybody else. She's somehow the most mature person on the show, despite not technically being a person, because her personality is kind of just non-existent for most part. Anyway, so events keep happening in the show, with angels and stuff. At one point, Shinji has to. He has to fight his friend who has been trapped inside of an Ava, a test unit Ava, but it gets infected by an angel and whatnot. So Shinji has to kill him, but he doesn't want to. So then they just make him do it, which sends Shinji into a rage, and he threatens to destroy Nerve and everything, because like, why would you make me do this? Why I had to watch it happen without any sort of control over it. Let's see. Then Shinji has to kill his other friend Kawaru, who is an angel. He's the last angel. He shows up, and he's the only one who gives like he has just an unrequited love for Shinji. He just wants Shinji to be happy. He wants Shinji to know that
the word you're looking for is not unrequited, but what's the word? Shit. No, my brain's forgetting. It's unconditional.
Unconditional. He gives him unconditional love. He wants Shinji to know. He wants Shinji to be happy. He wants Shinji to know that he's wanted by people that are there. He just wants what's best for Shinji, and Shinji loves Kawaru. They're the gayest guys. It's great. It's such a cute friendship that they have, even if it only lasts for like 2 episodes or so. because Kawaru is the last angel, Shinji has to kill him, or otherwise the world could end up destroyed. So Shinji crushes Kawaru in his hands. And I think that's the last episode before the character study episodes. And the character study episodes are more as a result of production costs. But I was told not to specify on production issues. So basically, the last 2 episodes are character studies of characters trying to resolve their problems, namely Shinji. It ends with the congratulations scene. It's kind of implied at some point that that moment is happening alongside the invasion of Nerve that takes place during the end of Evangelion movie, and possibly happening in the LCL, or Orange Tang as I like to call it. The end of Evangelion movie sees Shinji. Well, one sees the invasion of Nerve by. It's not the U.S. government. I think it's just the. I forget what the organization is called. That's behind the scenes of the whole time. But they essentially wanted to they have a plan called the Human Instrumentality Project, which utilizes Adam and Lilith, who are essentially the progenitor species of humans and angels, which share DNA. Like what I forget what it is. Like isn't it like a 99% match of some sort or something of that sort? Yeah. So
Wait, say that again. I missed it. What did you say?
Isn't the DNA match between humans and angels like 99% or something of that nature?
I actually forget that. Now that you mention it, I don't remember.
It's very close. It's very close because the angels have like blue blood or something, or blue. What? It's some sort of color mixed with like cells of some kind. I forget what it is. Yeah. Anyway. God, why am I forgetting that the Shadow Organization has such a cool name and I'm forgetting it? It sucks. Let's see what else. So yeah, they want to use Adam and Lilith by bringing them together through a particular ritual. They want to create Human Instrumentality Project, which I don't know what exactly their end goal was, but it essentially unites all people into a single consciousness. I think they were thinking that they could like take control of that consciousness somehow. I mean, it's kind of in the name. You have to interpret what it could possibly be by human instrumentality, like using humans as some sort of instrument for what, though? It's one of those things. It's one of those things you kind of have to interpret shit. How vague it can be. I want to say they probably described what their exact intentions were at one point, but I can't remember off the top of my head, unfortunately. So Shinji ends up getting in the way of this because Rei decides I don't want to be a pawn, because she developed all those feelings during the original series runtime. She's like, you know what? I don't want to be a tool for you anymore, Gendo. And she eats him. She essentially eats him. She eats his hand when he puts it through her body, and it's just like, no, it's my hand now. And then she merges with Lilith, who is being kept underneath Nerve headquarters in Central Dogma, which is a cool ass name. And then she essentially chooses Shinji as the person to. Shinji also, by the way, going through a rough time with the ritual that's going on. He's essentially been crucified by a bunch of like fake Eva units. I guess you could call it. They're like some sort of prototype Eva units that are mixed with angels. Asuka also like was being eaten and possibly killed by them at one point. So Rei's like, all right, well, Shinji, I'm gonna leave this up to you. So she kills every human being on Earth, or absorbs them essentially via the LCL, turns them all into orange tang. This combines the human consciousness into one mega consciousness, and Shinji's in there, and he's like talking to himself. It's like, I don't really know what I want to do. I just want to be able to properly. I just want to. I don't like the idea. Okay. So the whole thing is like Shinji has a problem with communicating with people. He's got all these problems that he can't properly convey because communication is imperfect, and everybody has their own problems that they're dealing with. So that also causes like essentially interference with that communication. And he decides that while LCL allows for him to properly convey these feelings, something about the imperfectness of being human makes it more desirable than existing in the LCL together with everybody else. So he and Asuka are essentially the first people to leave the LCL, and the last shot of that film, which is my favorite film of all time, is Shinji choking Asuka and then letting go, and then Asuka just going, pathetic. And it's a great film, and you should watch it. End of Evangelion is a good movie. Evangelion, the series, is a great series, and then you should watch the movie because it's a great movie. And I'm going to conclude that. That is my end of learning with James. I can't wait to see all that Skylar types.
Because I typed a lot, but some of it is like stuff that you necessarily didn't get wrong, but stuff you didn't mention, or stuff that maybe I remember a bit differently that we can have a thing. So you saw some of it before. He said it takes place in 2014, it takes place in 2015. And it was a big thing when 2015 happened because it was the date that Third Impact happened. It was a big deal. December 2015.
Yeah, 4 years ago. That thing I probably wouldn't remember.
Yeah.
4 years ago.
And I said I believe you are correct about Adam in First Impact. Where he's okay. So the lore shit that you forgot, which is also unclear in the show, so don't feel bad. Is that so? You remember in the movie in the end of Evangelion when the shit's happening and Giant Naked Ray pulls up that like purple like orb out of the geofront, right?
Yeah.
So basically, the way it works is that there's these two things. There's called the seed of Lilith and the seed of Adam. So basically, what they explain at one point, I actually forget when they explain this, but essentially, the seed of Lilith is like what causes like human intelligent life, and the seed of Adam is what causes the things like angels to exist. And so what happened was that the Earth had a seed of Lilith already, but First Impact was when a seed of Adam somehow like collided with the Earth and embedded itself in the North Pole or whatever, and that was where it was. So that was First Impact. I'm pretty sure. I actually might be wrong about that, but that's what I remember happening. And I corrected you. You said that humans based off of Lilith. Or sorry, you said that humans based off of Adam and angels of Lilith. It's actually the opposite. That also was confusing because at the beginning of the show they refer to the thing as an essential dogma as being Adam. They were wrong about that when they find Adam later. And they're like, oh, we're wrong. This is Lilith.
Oh.
Yeah. So I just mentioned that they said that they call humans Lilins at one point towards the end of the show. So you said it was a 15-year gap. It's actually 14 years. That's whatever. I think Masato's dad. I actually, it's one of the things where again I could be wrong because it's timeline shit. So whatever. I think Masato's dad worked at Gahern and not Nerve. Because remember that Gahern was the original company.
I've never heard that term before.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah, there was a whole thing. And I would say, it actually ties into another thing I said where you didn't mention Ray 1 or 3 at all. Because the Ray that exists throughout the show is Ray 2, and then Ray 2 dies when they fight, I think it's Arim Sael. When she nukes herself and Unit 0 blows up. And then she comes back, and that's another Ray clone, so that's Ray 3.
Oh, yeah.
And Ray 1 was the little girl that Ritsuko's mom murdered.
Oh, yeah.
And so that whole episode with Ritsuko's mom and the thing where, like, Fuyutsuki and Gendo meet, and Gendo forming his institution, that's Gahern. So Gahern was the original institution that was formed and then eventually disbanded, I think, when Ritsuko's mom was killed. And then they eventually got government funding to form NERV a couple of years before the show started. So Gahern was like the original formation of NERV. So I think that was like, in my head, timelines would make it so that oh, actually, no. Because Gahern was formed after Second Impact. So it would be like he was just a scientist who was working. He didn't work for either of them. He was a scientist who was just working on studying shit with Adam in the North Pole. Oh, I wanted to ask you when they talked about the two angels that showed up before the show, because I actually don't remember that.
When what?
Said there was two angels that showed up before the show. I wanted to ask when they mentioned that because I don't remember that.
Well, they mention that the first angel we see in the show is the third angel.
Yeah, that's true.
And it said it was the first one in blank number of years.
Maybe they refer to Adam and Lilith as the first two. Because I don't think how they would have referred to. I don't think that they. Because the other ones would be like, well, how? Because again, there's no way they could have dealt with them unless they had the heavy units. And the show is the first time that they mobilize it, right? To fight an angel.
I don't know. I mean,
I'm pretty sure I can look it up, but I'm pretty sure the assumption is that angels 1 and 2 are Adam and Lilith.
I mean, I don't know.
I know
maybe.
that I know that's why I said this. This isn't a correction. That's me asking your question.
God, Skylar, why are you fucking just taking it all out on me, huh? You gotta be that guy. Jesus.
I remember correctly. It's implied Asuka's mom was nuts because of her soul being put into the Eva, so that's why she
Okay.
was like
I
that.
didn't know. I didn't know if that happened before or after dying.
I'm
I
pretty
figured.
sure because I think it was like the way that works is unclear because it was like with Shinji's mom. It was
They
like
did it when she was alive.
yeah, and then she was absorbed, like she like died and it was like killed by the thing. Her soul was in the thing, but I'm pretty sure with Asuka's mom, it was like it happened while she was still alive and it was part of the experiment that they were doing.
Oh, okay.
You mentioned you talked about Asuka going missing, but you didn't mention the sequence with Ariel at all. So that's what happens is that she gets assaulted by the angel in space, Ariel, and she like gets mind fucked, and
Yeah.
it makes her feel really bad.
And it turns into like one of the best sequences of that show.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite scenes in the show.
I'm Asuka Short. What is it? Asuka Soryu
I-
Langley?
Yeah, I'm Oscar Langley. Sorry, you. Yeah,
Yeah, Sorry. Okay, it's the Soryu's the last.
because everyone is named after a boat. So fuck you.
Wait, are they?
Yeah, Ayanami class destroyer.
I didn't know that.
Soryu's thing, and then and that's why they changed Asuka's name in the rebuilds. Shikinami is a different kind of boat.
They didn't. They changed her last name.
Yeah, hence your last name. She's Asuka. She's instead of Asuka Langley Shoryu, yeah, she's Asuka Langley Shikinami in rebuild movies.
I didn't catch that ever. Weird.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's weird. It's a weird thing. Yeah, I mean, I brought up we haven't talked about Ray 103, but whatever. Unit 4 doesn't get infected by an angel. It was actually the fact that they implanted I forget what the engine is called. I don't think it's an N2 engine. I think it's like a special engine that they had.
Yeah.
And
they
then
were
that
testing
was taken. Basically, it was based on an angel, so that was what happened. And it's the same engine that the mass-produced Evas. Like it was like it was like they had it and then they consumed something to gain it. I actually forget. But it was like that was why they ate Unit 2, if I remember correctly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then it's actually a fan theory that the last 2 episodes take place during Evangelion. It's not.
I remember
like,
you and I talked about it, and you thought it might. I mentioned that my friend was confused why Masato was shot in one of those episodes, and that's what you mentioned.
Oh yeah. Okay. Wait. So she got shot. Okay. No. There's a bit in the movie where she gets shot, where she's like running through a hallway.
And there's a shot in episode 25 where she's shot bleeding on the ground in the same position.
Yeah. Well, because that's probably Okay.
Yeah.
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 And he's implying the same thing, right?
So am I a hack or what, Skylar?
I don't know. Well, no, you're not yet.
Not
so
yet.
Sele was the name of the organization that you forgot.
Sele.
Which is fucked up. That's not how that word is supposed to be pronounced at all. It's a German word for soul. So I actually don't know how it's pronounced, but everyone always makes fun of the show because it's pronounced in a weird way.
Well, I could see actually. I could check real quick.
Your thing with angels is they mentioned they had like blue blood or whatever. It's just because they whenever an angel shows up in the show, they refer to them as pattern blues.
Pattern blues,
which is why you thought that, right?
Yeah.
So Sele's plan. This is the major. What's the only thing you got wrong? I think was major. Is Sele's plan for instrumentality was not that they wanted to like take control of them or anything. It was just that they really bought into like the hedgehog's dilemma problem of like there's no such thing as real human communication because everyone is too afraid of being vulnerable to other people. So they said that in instrumentality that was like sort of like a next step in human evolution where there was no longer any boundaries between people to be afraid of anymore. So that everyone you could truly connect to another person because you were in the same hive mind basically.
Okay. Hey, one moment while I listen to this word. Zila.
Zila?
That's how you pronounce it. Yeah, Zila. Soul in German.
Ray mixing with Lilith was originally part of the plan that Sele had, but it was.
No, I know, but that's because that was part of the ritual. But I meant like I was just explaining that then she fuses with Lilith and then goes off to like, hey Shinji, I'm giving it to you now.
It was just because they assumed that because she was a clone, she didn't have a soul, and so she wouldn't have any agency. But they were wrong. And then Ray only tangs people because Shinji tells her to. She doesn't decide. Like, she doesn't do that first. It's like Shinji's like gets mad, and then he's like, make you kill everyone in the universe, and then she does. And then he's like, maybe don't. And so she's like, okay, well, maybe we can run that one back. You know, so I mean, it's a bit. As I mentioned, not to bring up production stuff, so whatever. But you didn't bring up the live action scene at all. That's fine.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Anyway, you're only kind of a hack fraud.
Fuck you! I'm not a hack fraud. I remembered most of it. I remember the whole thing with Ritsuko, and I didn't think it was quite relevant to the story because it kind of just.
Well, because it was like the thing with like Ray's development was that she kept having it like whenever she died, it would be reset basically.
She'd have memories that she didn't like.
Yeah.
Remember.
They like she would
talk to her
she
about,
would
like,
she
nothing
would
had changed?
It was a thing where she would remember it, but she wouldn't like it would be a thing where she would disassociate. So the thing where she had the glasses, she knew why those were important to Ray too. She like knew what happened, but like she didn't have those feelings because it didn't happen to her.
Exactly.
Yeah. That
she'd be like, "Huh, these people seem to really like me, but I don't know who these people are. I just met them." Yeah. Ray is a metaphor for dysphoria.
Yep. Okay. You're here first, folks.
Yeah, we did it. We did it. So yeah, that was learning with James. Let's move on to our big discuss. So our big discuss this week is high school. So Skylar, you and I, we met in high school. I met you when I was I was a junior and you were a sophomore because I'm a year older than you.
It's true. That is true.
I had just moved to Tampa from Manatee County, because my dad and my stepmom at the time got divorced, and he didn't have a house, so he became a trucker. I moved in with my mom.
Wow, so that's where you get the trucker genes from.
Shut the fuck. Actually, my dad trucked before I was born too. But yes, I guess so. I guess it's in my blood. So yeah, we met in the lunch line, and I didn't know how to properly talk to people, so I just went. I saw your shirt. It was a Pink Floyd shirt. I was like, "Hey, it's a cool shirt."
It's true. You're like, "Hey man, I like your shirt," and I was like, "Okay."
Yep. And then what did I say next? Did I just?
I don't remember. You kept trying to talk to me. I think you're asking me what I was. I think I had my headphones in. That's what I was listening to, and then I was listening to XYZ, and then you got me, and then I got caught in in the rhythm because it was like, yeah, I'll talk about the shit I'm listening to. Fuck yeah, someone wants to listen to me talk about music we're listening to. Well, of course, get fucked. Yeah. And then I never expected that you would just forever stick around. Yeah. That I accidentally like stepped in some goop. And it wasn't. It was always going to be on my shoe, no matter how hard I tried. Yeah. So
Did you ever try to get rid of me?
I don't think I actively tried, but there was that period when I graduated, when we were both graduated, when like I would only ever see you whenever I went to that Publix sometimes. Yeah, but I was like at school most of the time. Like at USF. We
didn't go to the same college because you went to USF. Yeah. I went to community college.
Yeah, so I was I was on campus and I also had no car, so I wasn't like driving around that often. So I'd only ever see you whenever I like went to that Publix like with my dad or something.
But I would remember you.
And then you'd be like, "Yeah, Skylar, come over here, you fucking bitch! Give me my copy of Nocturne back." That you stole from me.
You stole it. You did.
And I had it for like multiple years. And it was really the reason why I had it for so long was because it was the thing where in my head I was gonna finish Persona 4 really soon, and then I wanted another SMT game to play after I finished Persona 4. But the issue was that I got stuck on Persona 4 for a really long time, and I didn't want to start Nocturne until I beat Persona 4 because I was like, this game is way harder. I need to like understand how these games work better before I can start Nocturne and like do a reasonable run. And then I didn't like beat Persona 4 until the week I started. Like I literally beat it like 2 days before I started college.
Nice. And then you got into a car accident at one point, and so I didn't see you for a while, and you never answered your text.
Well, that was the
ever.
thing. Yeah, it was I got into an accident the week before school started, so that's why I didn't have a car. Because my car got destroyed.
But you also never answered my texts.
It's true, but I didn't answer anyone's text, so don't feel too bad about it.
Why didn't you?
I think it's because I don't know, I was fucking whack as a freshman, and I would see my phone go off, and I'd be like, and I would like forget to respond, or I wouldn't notice, and then it would just kind of be like that, and then it would feel like, and then I felt like it was like awkward and too late to respond, so I just wouldn't. I was whack. It was like me being too lazy to have conversation with people, pretty much.
Okay. Yeah. I
Yeah,
eventually did get my copy of Nocturne back, though.
I did give it back to him. It's true.
I drove
then-
to your house. I was like,
and
"Yo,
then-
Skylar, give me my
Please
fucking
give him a
copy
copy of
back."
Nocturne. Yeah, and it was literally like it was like we were hanging out. Like I was a thing where I think I was like at like in between my sophomore and junior year of
Mhm.
college, and it was just like, okay, we decided that we're going to reconnect, sort of, to be buddies
Sort of.
again. And then, but it was really all just a ploy so James could get his copy of Nocturne back.
Yeah.
And then it was also low key a ploy on my part to teaching me how to render videos properly because I had a project. I had to
What?
do.
Did I ever teach you that or no?
Yeah, it was because I had that product or that project for school where I had to make a video essay and I didn't know how to. It was like I had already edited it, but I was like, how the fuck do I export this?
You didn't know how to export it.
And so I didn't know where the renderer went and I had to do
Oh,
it. And you're like, I
jeez.
need help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saved that project.
You did. I turned
Which
it
is
in on
ironically also Evangelion.
on the day it was due, which
Nice.
was funny.
Nice.
It was like weeks after the semester ended. Actually, not weeks. It was like a week after the semester was over. Yeah. So anyway, we both went to high school in in Tampa. Went to Sickles High School. That was our high school.
Good job. Now we're doxxed. We're good.
Yeah, we're doxxed. Yeah, this high school, one of many high schools.
Yeah, but now it's the specific high school, and now they know what college.
What information are they gonna learn?
Now they know what college you went to, and now they know what college I went to. I mean, it's not hard to backtrack from there.
Okay, I don't really have that much public information to
They
be
know.
stolen.
They know your address, Skylar. They know your address.
I don't really have an address.
You don't have an address.
I mean, I don't live in like one spot all that often. I
Yeah,
guess.
Skylar's the actual homeless member. Like we joke that I'm homeless, but it's actually Skylar.
It's just it's not I'm homeless. It's more that I have many homes. That I don't own any of them though.
I'm not a gamer because I have no life.
Yeah, I
choose
choose to have many. Yes, that's like one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's pretty great. I love it.
Yeah, and so I guess, do you want to talk about like where do you want to take this? Do you want to talk about like high school
right.
experiences that we had, like things that happened to us? Do you want to talk about like the like your feelings about people, yourself, and others that have changed since high school? Like where are you feeling with this?
I'll be honest. I don't actually interact with many people from high school anymore because
You used to live with someone you knew in high school.
Well, yeah, I still hang out with. I used to live with somebody I went to high school with, and then we actually just recently reconnected, which I think I talked about a couple of weeks ago when it happened. Which is great. Which was super awesome. But I mean, yeah, like most of the people, like all the people I went to high school with in Manatee County, I don't talk to them. And then all the people that I talked to in Indiana I don't talk to either because either I had them as friends on Facebook, and I actually just trimmed my Facebook friend list again. I never really interacted with anybody outside of you and Deanna, which you Deanna and Cesar were my friend group for 2 whole years.
Man, Alex pulling the fuck out.
Well, Alex too, but Alex never talks to us.
It's true. I saw him at the Broly movie.
Yeah, I heard. I think you mentioned that. I need to get his number or something. I think I'm still friends with him on Discord. I don't know. I have to see what he's up to, see how he's holding up. But like, yeah, like okay, so high school for me in my first 2 years was rough, right? Like it was rough in that like I didn't actually have an established group of friends. I just had groups that I would hover between. So I had three main groups. I had the ROTC crowd because I was in ROTC all
Oh, I
4 years of
forgot
my
you were
high
in
school.
ROTC. One of those
Yeah, I was in
kids.
ROTC for 4 years in both in two schools. I had the ROTC group, uh, and then I had the
Oh wait, if you
anime
were in ROTC, you might have known the kid whose leg got broke.
maybe, but I didn't really talk to anybody in ROTC. I didn't have any friends in ROTC.
Yeah, but he was like leadership though.
Yeah, but I didn't talk to the people in leadership
Oh, okay.
because they were all seniors and I was younger than them, and nobody talked to me in ROTC.
Well, he would be a year younger than you.
Yeah, then I definitely wouldn't have talked to him. I didn't talk to people in ROTC. Nobody liked me at school. Nobody liked me in high school ever. No, like you say that, but it's true.
Oh
Like
no, is this where gonna
like
crash?
what gonna crash?
I think my Discord's about to crash.
Oh shit. Oh
Oh,
no.
I can see it's pinwheeling.
Oh
Oh
no. Oh
no.
no. I'm just gonna keep talking.
All
So
right.
nobody liked. So I had three groups in my first high school. I had ROTC, I had the anime nerds, and then I had like the weird hipsters. Um, those were the three people I'd have around. Everybody in ROTC thought I was weird and gross, and they're not wrong because I didn't know how to talk to people, and a lot of the times I would just
James
sit
would
down
want to
next.
snuggle me in public.
Yeah, but like that's no, it was different. It was different. It was a lot. It was like weird
I think that
sex,
definitely
gross.
fits into high class people.
Yeah, but in high school I was like weird sex gross like in my first 2 years because I thought it was funny to be weird sex gross. So
You're
and like
saying it
that.
like that. You make it sound like you're the Sax from Metroid Fusion.
I mean, you don't know me, but anyway. Yeah, like at one point in middle school I made a joke that like my dad raped me because I thought it was funny.
Jesus.
My dad ended up finding out about that, and that wasn't
Jesus.
fun. Well, because
I
like
bet it wasn't fun.
it wasn't because I got choked. But yeah, and
Did
I
you say choke me, daddy?
no, I said please let go, dad. Um,
Oh god, James.
yeah. So yeah, like yeah, high school was never really fun for me. High school a lot of the times was like sitting next to somebody in a group that I recognized, and then they'd be talking to somebody, and I wouldn't be talking to the group because I didn't know what to say because all these people had socialized that I didn't. And then I would think of something and I'd be like I try to talk to the person that I would that connected me to that group and be like, oh hey, did you see like whatever? And they'd be like, oh no, it's like oh yeah, it was this cool thing and stuff, like oh cool, and then they go back to their conversation that they were having and they'd be like, okay, I'm gonna wait about 5 minutes and then I'm gonna go walk to the other group, and then I do that and I would repeat that process.
Yeah, that's right. You did it, and that was why you'd stick around with me at lunch because I actually would respond to you.
Yes. Otherwise I would actually be sitting alone at my lunch table.
Yikes!
And some
You had your own lunch table.
It was the one lunch table that you, Dion, and I would always sit at, and I would always sit
Oh,
there waiting
for during breakfast.
during breakfast. Yeah,
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 that's. I'm
and
sorry. That sounds. You sound, this whole thing makes you actually sound like pathetic as fuck.
yeah. I was pathetic as fuck in high school. It was awful. And then there were days when I wouldn't even have money for lunch, so I just sit there silently, not eating, with nothing to do. This is fun.
I'm so sorry.
Well, it's partly my fault because I was a fucking weirdo in high school, but I
It's
mean,
true.
it also just sucks because oof, I didn't have any extracurricular stuff I could do.
Well, you did have artsy stuff you could have done, but you just didn't want to.
Well, no, I did RTC stuff. Like I did marksmanship in the last year, but I got kicked out of that team because I accidentally misfired, and that was an uh, uh,
Did you hit
automatic boot.
somebody?
No, I didn't hit somebody, but I did shoot the flag, our battalion flag.
Bumble
And then
King
I made a
James.
nice hole in that. So, um, yeah. Oh, thank God I didn't hit anybody. I was so worried that I might have at the time. But yeah, I didn't have any
Jesus.
extracurricular stuff that I could do because I didn't have any sort of transportation to do it. Like I had a bike, maybe, but that was it. Like I did march parades and stuff for RGC, but that was only like twice a year. Um, God, yeah. So, oh, Yeah, so that was what I would do in at my first high school, and then in my second high school with you guys, like I could at least get by, like maybe hanging out with you for a little bit, and then you'd get annoyed, or like I'd be bored and I'd walk away and find something else to do. Maybe. But yeah, a lot of the times there was a lot of sitting alone at lunch. That was a big one.
I'm sorry. I guess I can almost like I was never like as it was never as bad. But my freshman year, I feel like I could kind of like relate to not having a like group of friends that I was close to, but just having a bunch of groups of people that were like fine having me around them. And there was always like one person in each group that I was like, not like quite a friend with, but more than an acquaintance with, you know. So I'd have like, it was a thing where like my lunch group, I guess was the closest thing I had to friends my freshman year, because it was just like a couple of groups of dudes and we would do dumb bullshit. Like, one thing I remember we did my freshman year was we took a tray. And they gave us, I don't know, someone that was like really disgusting lunches, and we basically just like glued everything down to the tray, and then glued the tray to the fucking plastic umbrella
Oh, no.
that was above the thing, and so there was like a full ass lunch that was like upside down above the fucking the thing above the whatever you call it, the fucking table, and it was there for weeks. I think it was the mozzarella sticks, because they were like they would never go bad, and
Jesus.
and yeah, so they were taped up to the fucking roof of the thing for like it was up there for weeks. It was pretty funny.
That's fucked up. I can't believe you'd waste food like that while I was starving.
Because that shit was disgusting, dude.
I love the mozzarella sticks.
Nah, man, those things were whack.
We talking like the cheese bread sticks?
Yeah, cheese bread sticks. I could like scarf them. I could like scarf them down.
Same.
Because I could ignore the taste of them, especially if they gave you the sauce. The thing was whack is that by the end of my time in high school, they started to replace the mozzarella sauce that came with it with salsa, and so they just became disgusting.
Yeah, like why don't?
But the lunches I got to see the budget cuts to school lunches as I was in high school. You had to see how bad they got. Like, man, there were some times when they wouldn't have any food, and they give you like the fucking like macaroni and cheese, and they hand it to you, and it would weigh like 4 pounds when they give it to you.
Yeah.
And you could feel your tray sagging because of how much the fucking macaroni and cheese weighed. And then you'd put your fucking spoon into it, and it would like sink like the fucking tar pits, and like the middle would be cold.
You hear that good pussy sound though.
In the middle of it would be cold because they didn't cook it all the way through. It would still be like the hardened cheese. It was so gross. There was one time where they would have this one meal where they gave like, it's kind of making me gag thinking about it. Where they'd have like the roast beef with mashed potatoes. Mm-hmm. And the beef.
The mashed potatoes were always good though.
Mashed potatoes were pretty decent. It was just because they had the gravy mix that was like you could flavor.
No, I hated the gravy. I just liked the mashed potatoes.
I like the gravy because I feel like the gravy would hit the fucking shitty texture of the potatoes.
I love that texture.
Nah,
it was so smooth.
The texture. You mean the fucking right out of the box smoothness?
No. Yeah, fucking... I actually high key love the right out of the box smoothness.
How do they?
I love it. I love how smooth it is. I would I would always play with my stuff to make it like as smooth as possible. I'd like use the bottom of the backside of a spoon to like smooth it out more.
Jesus Christ. But what I'm saying is that they'd also have like roast beef in it, and the roast beef would be undercooked a lot of times. So I had me and another friend got really sick eating that actually.
Ooh. Yeah, but the breakfasts were always good.
Nah, man, breakfast was whack. The only thing for breakfast that was good was the fucking those little like graham crackers with peanut butter jelly in between them.
Yeah.
Those things are godlike.
I found out those are discontinued, dude. You can't get those anywhere.
Really? I thought Welch's had like they had like a thing they would sell. Like
no, I looked it up. I looked it up.
Welch's.
No, I looked it up last year, and they don't sell them anymore.
Damn, that's like a top 10 like anime tragedies right there.
Top 10 anime foods.
Tops and anime tragedies. The discontinuing of that shit. Yeah, those things were so good, especially when you get like ones that were like kind of old, and so they would be soft.
Yeah,
Because they got soggy from the
jelly
the thing. Yeah,
or the
That's-
heat. Yeah, one of those.
it was probably both.
I liked them when they were cold though, because I liked it like just biting into it's hard and I don't know.
No, I always liked them when they were soft.
Both of them went great with the milk though.
Yes, because you it's a thing where like when you eat peanut butter, the milk it
breaks it down or something.
breaks it. Yeah, it washes it away. But also milk plus peanut butter flavor is tasty.
Vanilla milk flavor. How long did you call milk vanilla? Before you
I
found
don't
out?
think I ever did as a kid.
I always did when I was a kid. I just always be like, yeah, I'm gonna get the vanilla milk because it's chocolate milk, right, and strawberry milk. So obviously that would be vanilla flavor.
I think as a kid I was just too preoccupied with how things tasted. I always wanted like whole milk as a kid. It was a thing where I learned as a child about the different kinds of milk very early somehow. My mom was like, I was like, whole milk is delicious. I was like, you can't have whole milk because your heart's gonna explode. And I was like,
It's just right.
I was like, but it tastes good though. And she was like, yeah, but no, thank you. Too much fat. You're already fat enough, Skylar.
Damn,
Like,
I always grew up with 2% milk, so I never
So did
really
I.
got into whole milk.
I had whole milk like once. We were at like a fucking Perkins or some shit. And they gave it to me. There's also times when you go order like like when I'm out places occasionally I'll get like chocolate milk, especially like at Cuban restaurants.
Chalky milk with your honey
Yeah.
musty sauce.
There's a really good Cuban place that does breakfast, and they make this amazing chocolate milk with whole milk, and it's so good. So I'll get that every once in a while.
All right, Skylar, first crush.
In
First
high school,
crush. Yeah.
Okay, let me think. Okay, so freshman year was the year of confusion for Skylar, because there was like 4 or so girls that I was like interested in, but I also didn't like know why I was interested in them, and it was also a thing where like I didn't know like how to even go about those girls, even if I wanted to lead anywhere. So there was a girl in band. Her name was Kimmy. And I guess she was just nice to me. I don't know. And she was kind of cute. She had like blonde hair. And we talk about music bullshits. But then I kind of like, I don't know. I didn't talk to her that often. I thought she was kind of cute. And then there was actually, do you remember? Actually, you didn't go to my middle school. Do you remember this girl? Her name was, I forget her like full name, but her first name was Alex. She was in my lunch. She also went to my middle school. And I guess I just was one of those things where she was like, I knew of her from my friends in middle school. But I had like lunch with her in high school, and so we ended up becoming like friends freshman year. Only freshman year was when we talk. I actually feel like that happens a lot in high school, where I'd have like a friend I'd make for 1 year due to circumstance, and then we just wouldn't talk to each other ever after that point.
Damn.
So it was her, and then there was who else? I forget the other two, to be honest. I'm gonna be real with you. But they existed. They were people that existed that I now forget who they were.
All right, so you and I both know the big one, right? The big
Yes,
one.
why we both know.
And she knows too, so I'm just gonna say it.
it.
So I told Deanna she's probably to listen to it. She didn't respond yet, but so I had a crush on our mutual friend Deanna, and she knows at this point, and like it's whatever. So that was the big one, right? And then, but there was one other one in my old high school, which I've talked to you about before. It's what got me to go to my very first anime convention.
Yikes.
Yeah, do you remember that story?
No, I actually don't remember the story.
Okay, so there was a girl named Caitlin Badult. She
Then
was
full names dropped.
yeah, fucking doxer, dude. At this point, this was a girl that I knew from middle school, and I had a crush on her since middle school, but it really came to a full in high school when I would draw like little comics and stuff featuring her, myself, and 2 of our friends. One of which was the girl who dressed like a Nazi at one time. Her name was Abby, and there was Justin was my other friend. So I called the comic because because it was 4 people. I named it like JCJA or something of that nature. Like it was just the first letter of our first names. I would draw comics of us, and they would be kind of funny for like if you were a middle schooler and you made a thing. Um, and I would give them to her because she thought they were funny, and I wanted her to keep them. Like, oh, hey, keep these. Like, these are yours now. I made them for you. Um, and at one point, she moves to the other side of Florida, and we never really speak to each other again. And then she texts me one day because and she's like, "Oh, hey, I was looking through my closet and I found your comics, and I wanted to talk to you again." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. Hey, what's up?" And we talked for a little bit, like maybe like 2 days, and then she stopped talking to me again. I was like, "Oh, well, okay, I guess that happened." And then a year passes, or 2 year pass, and she sends me another message, and it's the same thing. "Oh, hey, I found your comics in my closet again. Hi." But she acts like it's the first time. Like she just completely didn't remember the first time it happened. So she's like, "Oh, hey, I found your comics in my closet. I thought of you, so let's talk." And she's like, "Oh, hey, I'm gonna be at this anime convention. It was MegaCon, I think, right? That's the one in Tampa.
Yeah, MegaCon.
MegaCon. So she was gonna be at MegaCon. It's like, "Oh, I've never been to a convention before." And it's like, "Yeah, you should totally come. We'll hang out." It's like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then like me still having a crush, it was like, "Well, hey, if we meet up, I mean, I have a crush on you. Can I kiss you?" And she's like, "Yeah, sure." It's like, "Oh, well, that was easier than I thought. Okay." So I convinced my stepdad and my older brother to take me to MegaCon along with Cesar. Cesar was also there. And this also has the other yikes story, Skylar, which you'll remember as soon as I mention it. So I ended up seeing. So I saw her, right, and she was there with her dad. And I was like, "Oh, well, now how do I bring up the kiss thing? I can't just talk about that with her dad. Be weird." Like, hey, her dad, can I like, Mr. Badult, can I like kiss your daughter? And she's like, what? No, that didn't happen. Um, ended up
I
not getting
hope
a
not,
kiss.
James.
Yeah, it ended up not getting a kiss because she said she was joking. I was like, "But my family spent like real money to get here."
Damn, dude, get cucked.
Basically. Um, so that was the rough first day, and then the rough second day was I show up there again with my dad and stepdad and brother, and then I see some old friends from my old high school, and I rush up to them. And I'm so excited. I'm like, "Oh my god, guys! Hey, what's up? How are you?" And I'm like, "It's James. Do you remember me?"
No,
And
they
they're
don't
like,
remember you. Whomst?
"No, no, no, they do remember me." And they go, "Yeah," and then they walk away with no
Oof.
anything, and it's like, oh. And then I look back at my stepdad and my brother, and they're just kind of staring, and I'm like, oh.
Yikes, dude. That's rough.
Yeah, so that's why I don't go to anime conventions.
Because you might run into your high school friends and they'll like spit on your shoes while they walk away.
Basically.
Smell you
Um,
later.
I'll smell you later, nerd. So yeah, that was my first high school crush, and then my second high school crush was Diana, and there was a point where I just like, I gotta just suppress these feelings down forever because it's never gonna work. It's never gonna happen.
Yeah, she's far too Hispanic.
Far too
Oh,
Hispanic, far too. That was her big thing was religion because she knew I was an atheist. She's like, "Nah, I'm not big on that." It's like, "Oh, well, that's fair, I guess. It's cool." But her parents were always nice, and we were actually really good friends. She was my best friend in high school, other than Cesar. And I would watch her house for her while her parents were away. After she went to college and stuff, it was really cool. I still talk to her parents actually pretty regularly. Um, Oh man. So there was her, and then but there were. Do you remember that time in high school when I told you about this crush I had on? I think her name was Victoria Brown.
oh yeah. Why you keep dropping full names? What's wrong with
Who
you?
cares?
I know these people, but you can't just drop their full names. She was like Danish or something, right?
Yeah, but she was in my French class. Do you remember how I described my crush on her?
No, I don't remember because I
Oh
probably
boy,
blocked
get
it
ready
from my
for another
memory.
yikes.
Jesus Christ.
Get ready get ready for another yikes. So young James didn't know how to properly describe his feelings, and I described it as, well, okay, like imagine she's a piece of art, right? Like she's just this perfect piece of
Oh
art.
yeah, I remember this
It's like
now.
I want to just have her, and nobody else gets to have her.
Yikes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yikes, my dude.
Yeah. Because like little James didn't know what objectification
Didn't
meant.
know that females have agency.
Yeah. It's like, oh no. And like you and Deanna were quick to be like, no, that's not good.
Yeah, we were already immediately on your ass. Though it wasn't like we didn't know.
Like no,
We
you
were right
immediately
there to tell
understood what I
you that
was
you were a
referring to,
horrible
and
person.
yeah, and just like, yeah, no, you can't do that, James. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a no for me, Chief.
that's yeah. Oof, we're not. That's oof. This ain't it. This ain't it.
Yeah, this ain't it. I'm not sure.
Like,
It's something, but this ain't it. Yeah.
And after I had that explained to me, I was like, oh, okay, I get what you mean now. And I think at the time I was still like hesitant to mention it, but like I didn't have a better way to describe how I felt, and now I know, like, no, don't do that.
Good. I'm glad that you've learned that females are not objects to be tamed.
Yeah,
And kept in your fucking foyer.
Yeah, I want to say in my mind I didn't mean it like she's a literal object. I think I just want it, like the word monopolize comes to mind,
Jesus.
where it's like I don't want I want to be the one she's with. I don't want it.
Yeah, I get what you mean, but you know.
Yeah, it didn't come out good. It didn't come out good. But anyway, so I eventually so the thing with Victoria was that like she was the only girl. Oh gosh, she was the only girl in my class that spoke to me and was like,
yeah, she was too nice for her own good.
Yeah, she spoke to me, but she also like talked to me. Like we would actually like talk every once in a while, or she would make jokes. And James didn't know how to handle that. James wasn't used to people actually like talking to him and interacting with him on a regular basis. So James would constantly be thinking like, oh God, does she like me? No, she probably doesn't like me. It's all got to be either a ruse or I'm completely misinterpreting how this works, and I have to shove these feelings away forever because otherwise I'm gonna get weird obsessiveness, and that's not good, right?
I
Like,
feel you.
yeah, being so hyper aware of your own feelings that you have to understand that it's not what you think it is. It's awful. It fucking sucks. Oh God. Huh.
Are you all right there?
Yeah,
Doing
it's just
all
every
right?
once in a while. I'll remember how I used to think and how sometimes I still think, and it's like this isn't good. Like, oh God. Then there was the one time I tried to talk to a girl while walking down the hall, and I forgot how to breathe.
What?
Okay, so there was a thing where there was a cute girl sitting like walking next to me.
This
I know
happens
her
to you when you
name,
go to the store too.
huh?
This happens to you when you go to the store as well, doesn't it?
Sometimes. So we were walking down the hallway, and I was like, okay, I just gotta say hi to her. I'll just say hi to her, right? And like I'm psyching myself up just to say hello to a girl, just hello, right? This is the kind of person I was. And I turned my head and I go, huh, and then like my brain, and that was the greeting, and my brain just goes, you're a fucking idiot, she hates you, you can't even say hi, you're an idiot, you're stupid, fucking go, leave her alone, she hates you, like repeatedly. And like also in the back of my head was like, she didn't even notice you, she didn't even like notice that you had said anything because it's so loud in the hallway. She didn't
Yeah.
turn to you like, but that the rational side of my brain was too small at the time. The irrational, horribly sad part of my brain.
I like the idea that you have this huge like crater in your head because the rational side of your brain was actually too small.
So
It has only grown stronger over time.
oh yeah, it's a void now. So the
You
irrational
sacrifice
side,
the memory part of your brain though.
what?
You only have so many points you
Skylar?
can allocate.
Oh no. Oh no, Skylar's not responding. Oh no. I can only assume that the Discord
Did you
broke,
finally
so I'm
die?
just gonna keep talking now. So yeah, my brain just instinctively told
You
me
finally died.
stop breathing. Just don't breathe at all. and you're going to now go to the bathroom after holding your breath for like several minutes, or I guess not several, like a whole minute, and then just
No,
just
okay, so
con-
I'll
like
make cast we're
gasp for
still
breath
recording me,
because you're
right?
just
Is it still
that
recording
incredibly
me?
anxious
Yeah,
just to
it
talk
is.
to people. That was James's
Hi,
fucking
James.
school
Sorry.
life there, but
The
fucking
machine was
romance?
killed.
Nah, you'd be lucky if
It
you could
was actually
interact
was
with the
pinwheeling
goddamn
that
birds like
entire time.
me.
Whenever you hear this, you should just know that it was pinwheeling that entire
Yeah, man, my
time.
high school fucking sucked. I guess what else could we talk about? Fucking oh gosh, maybe first high school like hmm. Oh, Skylar's back, but I can't hear him yet. I don't think his
Oh, I'm
audio
back.
is
Oh no, I was
he'll
literally.
just always hear his voice things.
Hello, James.
Hey, what's up,
Yeah,
bud?
this Discord finally crashed.
No, that's cool. I get it.
It was pinwheeling that entire time, and then decided to crash at that instant.
Mm-hmm. Did you
So,
hear what I said though?
no, I
All
can't
right. Well,
remember if you're finished your thought.
I'll just cut the audio out and put this part here. Yeah. So after that initially happened, my brain was just like, oh hey, yeah, no, you're gonna be holding your breath for a minute until you get to the bathroom so you can breathe properly. And I had what I can only assume was my first panic attack in that bathroom.
Jesus, dude.
Yeah, so that's what I mean by I just forget how to breathe sometimes. I don't understand. I get so anxious where I don't know how to regulate my breathing anymore. So it's just like, oh, okay.
So the thing is that you were completely functioning like perfectly fine in high school.
Yeah, that's what that is. That's what I said
Yeah,
exactly.
you have
High
there was
functioning.
nothing at all wrong.
It's definitely
You were
high
doing.
functioning.
That's questionable. I'm not sure. Uh, yeah. I
Can
mean, so my high school experience was pretty, I guess, different. I guess because it was in my first year in high school was pretty awkward just because I was everyone's awkward as a freshman. I also didn't really have that many friends from middle school because middle school for me was whack because I went to a new school and none of my friends from elementary school went the same middle school as me, and it was also that all of the kids at my middle school all went to the same elementary school because it was like right next, like it was like down the street. So I was like basically moving into a basic thing where everyone already had their friendships like formed basically, and I
Right.
was just kind of like a third wheel almost all the time with whoever was there. So I didn't really have any close friends in middle school, and then in high school I kind of was like I don't know where to put my effort in making friends because there's all these people that I'm kind of like acquaintances with, but I'm not sure if I like them or if they like me enough, right? Then, I mean, I was in band freshman year, but really a sophomore year was when my band friendships became like actual friendships, and I would go hang out with people like after school, and I would do things. So I still have like my band friends from high school. We still hang out, we still talk a lot, so. I think that was something that's like kind of like was incredibly important in surviving high school as an individual.
Like developing meaningful friendships. Yeah,
No,
probably.
I mean taking part in extracurricular or co-curricular activities because it would force because that was the thing was that in band you're almost forced into finding band friends because I spent more time with the marching band during marching season than I did with my own family because you're there, you have band at least once a day in class, right? But
Yeah.
I had band twice a day because I was in the jazz band. So there was
Like
that.
jazz.
Yeah, and then so I had band twice a day at least during school. So 2 out of my 7 periods were band periods. And then you had after school practices on Monday and Wednesday, and so those would go from like 5 to 8, right? And you'd be after school on those days. So instead of going home, was again I didn't have a car, so it would be too much effort to drive home and then drive back, have someone drive me home and then to drive me to practice. So I would stay at school for 2 hours with all the kids that stayed at school for 2 hours, and we'd go get like lunch or sorry, go get dinner somewhere and hang out with them in between school and practice. And we'd have practice, so that's 3 hours. I'm with the band, right, doing marching band practice, and then Fridays we'd have games where I stay after school for the game, and then I'd be at school all day. I get home at like 1, and after the game, it was usually around midnight or 1 when you get home, depending on how far away we were for the away games. And and then you had competitions on weekends where you go spend all day people in the band, and yeah, and then and there were competitions for every single kind of band. So you had marching band ones, you had jazz band ones, you had individual performance ones, and you had concert band ones. So I spent a metric fuckload of time with people in the band, and in doing so, there was nobody in the band that didn't have bands, just out of necessity, because you're with people so fucking long. So, and almost everyone I know that was in band still has some friends they made in band they're still in contact with. Um, so I feel like that was the most important, like a really important thing, because not only does it teach you, like not only do you get friends through the thing, but it also kind of teaches you as an individual how to like function with people, because you have to like be agreeable, you have to like be somewhat responsible for what you need to know, and like you have to be kind of dedicated to the thing, or else people get on your case about being shitty. So I feel like that was an important thing that happened in my life, and I feel like I don't know where I'd be at if I wasn't in high school band.
Probably where I'm at.
I mean, I was never as fucking
broken.
I could function. In middle school, even if I didn't have close friends, I wasn't I wasn't like spewing my spaghetti out everywhere, trying to say hi to girls in the hallway.
Man, it
was just middle school with me, which I just didn't know. Like I was like trying to be friends with the wrong people. There were people that did like me, but that I was like afraid of being friends with because they weren't the cool kids, and I knew that the cool kids like didn't mind me, so I could like I always had hope that I'd be friends with the cool kids.
Mm-hmm.
Even though that I didn't like them that much and we didn't have that much in common, so I was never actually going to break into the friend barrier with them. I did have stuff in common with the kids, with the nerdy kids that I didn't want to hang out with because they were huge losers.
There was a point where I was in high school, as was my current stepsister and my former stepsister at the same time. I remember that being really weird.
Why? How so?
Because it's like my dad just got a divorce, and now I'm living with this new family, and this new family and the old family are still in the same places, and I still see them both regularly, and it's like, it just feels weird.
I remember that because me and my brother are 3 years separate. It was like we were together for 2 years in elementary school, but then all through middle school we were in different schools, and then we only had 1 year, I think, together in high school. And I remember that being not like weird, but being kind of like interesting because me and my brother are close. So
well, yeah, but
yeah.
No, I think you're I don't think you're understanding. Two different step families.
Oh, and they were both at the same school at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be weird. Yeah, because he wouldn't
Yeah.
he would like. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, and granted, thankfully, I guess, quote unquote, thankfully, I wasn't close to any of my step siblings ever, for a variety of reasons. But it was still weird to like hug my stepsister goodbye and then turn around and then I see my other stepsister walking down the hall, and it's like it's such a weird disconnect where it's like I have this new family, but I've just left this old family, not even like a year later. It's weird. My dad's marriage has made things very uncomfortable all the time.
Sorry that had to happen to you.
I mean, it's fine. It's not the worst thing to happen to me because of my dad. It's not. Yeah, just high school for me was rough. Some of it my fault, and then some of it was just like I didn't really get a chance to, I guess, interact with kids. Like there was like I lived in both times I lived in a neighborhood that like didn't really warrant having like play dates or having kids come over. Because I just the way the neighborhood was structured.
But you used to live in Bellamy.
Uh, yeah, but I mean, I'm talking about. I'm sorry. I'm referring to like first middle school. My first high school.
Oh,
My first high school I didn't have that because I lived at two different houses at that time, and they weren't like subdivisions or anything. You didn't like get to meet your neighbors or anything like that. It was just kind of. I don't think there were any real kids in my street on my street anyway. So I kind of had to rely on my step siblings for interactions, but those were like several years older than me because I'd be in high school and they'd be like just leaving or going to college at that point, and it's like I don't I can't relate to you kids, and you guys don't really want me here in the first place because I'm a kid and I don't have any friends to interact with outside of school. So it's like, oh shit. Um, yeah, I had a weird. I guess I had like a weirdly sheltered, um, like school life, but not because of my parents. I wasn't sheltered because of my parents. I was sheltered because of my environment, I guess, and that just kind of fucked me up. Uh,
huh.
yeah. But yeah, and when I went to Sickles, like it was a little bit easier because I had that. I had like Deanna and I lived in the same neighborhood. I could bike or walk to Deanna's house. But I mean, you didn't. You had band, so you didn't like you didn't. You and I couldn't hang out. Cesar, he and I could hang out, but he and I didn't really become friends till like late into like my junior year, where he stopped being friends with one guy. So I got a chance. Like I literally went and started
swooped in.
sitting in that guy's spot, and so I could talk to Cesar.
You swooped in and stole. Was the guy that he punched in the nose at the play thing?
No, some other dude named Mark, who's like an Indian kid or something. And then I don't know. I guess like he moved or something. But like, oh god, my friendship with Cesar was so weird, or like it was such a weird thing because like it would be a thing where Cesar and Mark were talking, they were having fun, they were goofing off in class, and I'd be like sitting behind them or next to them, and like I would want to join in the conversations, but it was very clearly like that like conversation between two best friends sort of thing. You couldn't just come in. Um, and I was like, man, I wish I was friends with those guys so I could have these kind of conversations because I'm just sitting in my math class not talking to anybody ever. Uh, and then that guy moved. She was like, oh, cool. I'm gonna sit in that guy's spot and I'm gonna talk to Cesar and we're gonna be best friends now.
Yikes!
And I was right. We did become best friends. I was best friends with him. I think he had a different, he had a different best friend though. But he and I did become very close friends to the point where we moved into an apartment together. It was nice. Hey, what's your favorite high school memory?
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Hmm. Okay, well, I really liked my senior year when I got some friends together. We did like a jazz combo. When we performed uh, Red Clay by Freddie Hubbard for the thing. We kind of shopped that around to like some places too and played it in some locations as well. So that was really fun. I also liked in general like the big jazz push that we had. I think it was my senior year as well, where we like played like the opening for like a Wendy's or something in the parking lot, and like we like the West Shore Mall, sorry, just Citrus Park Mall had us play like outside the food court. Um, and that was fun. That was a good time. That shit was good. So, I like the band stuff. That was fun. But I also feel like the memories I kind of hold super dear are the ones like involving things I would do kind of outside of school, like with some friends that I had. So like my senior year, it's actually really weird when I think about it. So I had this group of friends my senior year. It was the girl who was the band captain, and also the trumpet leader, section leader, the trumpet section leader that year. I played the trumpet in band. So it was her, and then some people that she knew in middle school that she had recently like reconnected with and become, like their friendship had rekindled or whatever. And then I was like friends with her, so we'd hang out like all the time with like that group of friends. And there was some shit that we did there that was like, I don't know. I have really fun memories of that period. I was saying going to hang out in their house. One of the girls, she used to live in like West Chase, so it was like kind of close to everyone, so everyone could go kind of hang out there. We'd like go and we'd watch movies like late in the night, and her boyfriend was like a fucking like he was a chef, like that was his thing. He was a chef at like a retirement home. That was his job. So he'd come and he'd make like fucking godlike, just like he like his like hobby was looking up weird foods to make. So we just go over and he would just make weird shit and it would be delicious. And when we watch, and he was a huge movie buff, so we'd watch movies, and so that was how me and my friend Kevin actually he was part of the thing too. We go over and we'd watch movies with him and his girlfriend and their friends or whatever, and that was really fun. Yeah, and that was also where I met a lot of my close friends there. Like I have really fun memories of eating lunch with my friend Emily, junior year, and because we were line buddies, so we could save us each other a spot in the line because that lunch line was like the most horribly managed thing I've ever seen. And you never get food if you didn't have a line buddy.
Yeah.
So we were line buddies, and we'd like sit talk for like the 40 minutes. We'd be fucking stuck in line, and then go to the band room to eat lunch afterward. Um, yeah, I guess that works.
Hmm.
What about you? What's your do you have a good high school memory?
Um. Um. I would say anytime I went to the military ball. I took Deanna every time there was a dance. I took her to the military ball for ROTC, and I took her to homecoming, and I took her to prom. And those are all very nice memories for just very obvious prom reasons.
Prom was the worst for me. Not
Uh,
because of like shitty like I didn't have a date reasons whatever. I memed and took my friend Kevin to prom, and that was a joke thing that we did. But it was just that I
it's a
was
meme because you think we're gay because it's prom.
really it was like it was a running joke all through senior year that me and Kevin were dating secretly. And we didn't want to tell anybody because me and Kevin, we're still super
Uh-huh.
close friends. And I was the thing where I would lean into it because like I'm very confident that I don't in my sexuality, so I'm not like worried people are gonna
Yeah.
think I'm gay or
Uh-huh.
anything. So yeah, so that was the thing. But I was annoying because the same band captain girl was on some shit and was like try basically she was trying me all night long, and I was like this bitch, and
This
and
bitch.
uh and then we like I was drunk. I was the I was the DD for the night
Uh-huh.
basically. So we like drove all the way to Clearwater to go to the beach, and then it was like windy, and so we left because the old sand kept blowing into our fucking face. And
Damn.
we drove back to my house to play. We think we played Cards Against Humanity at like fucking 2 a.m. at my house, and I chugged an entire bottle of Four Loko because I didn't have to drive anymore.
Jesus Christ,
Uh,
guy. I didn't drink until after I graduated high school.
Look at
Didn't
this guy
have
over here being lawful.
No, it wasn't being lawful. It was, I literally didn't have anybody to do dumb shit with. So, you know.
I think I only ever did high school drinking with that particular group of people because the guy was older. So he could, so
Okay.
he bought, he could like have liquor like around like, in his house because he could buy it because he was like in his 20s.
I'd say. Oh, I just had it. Oh, I think my best high school memory was when I did an essay on Hitler's rise to power for my world history class, and I got my teacher actually com- oh god, Mr. May was actually super cool with me because he actually went to my old high school. So like I had a weird connection through my teacher to the high school that I just left. It was like, oh hey, wow, that's really cool. He played football for Manatee High School. That was really nice. I had a he was like you ever have like that school dad or that school parent? It's like, yeah, that's the cool teacher. That's the really nice teacher. You
That
could
for you
like,
that was what that was Mr. May.
yeah.
For me, that was I had two that I really liked. it was Mr. Bright who taught like calculus and
Hmm.
pre-cal. He was math teacher, and it was old Pagano, Robert Pagano. Well, I guess they're both their names are Robert. That's fucked
Yeah.
up. It's old Pagano. He's the dad of young Pagano. Um, and they were what's funny is they were right across the hall from each other too.
Yeah.
And fucking they're both similar in like how I respected them basically. Because it was like Mr. Bright, which he was just a fantastic math teacher. Um, he like he took his I took Calc BC AP Calc BC my senior year, which is Calculus 1 and 2, College Calculus 1 and 2,
Hmm.
condensed, super condensed into a high school schedule. So it's like a high school year is if I remember correctly, it's slightly longer than 2 semesters of college. Um, but uh, it was like we had less time to do things because of the 7 periods, 50 minutes a day thing. So we had less time to go through material basically. So yeah, it was like a really hyper condensed version of those two courses, and it was really really hard. Um, and he was just fantastic at teaching, but he also would do these things where he'd like go on tangents and talk about like his time when he used to live in Germany, and he was like studying abroad, and he talked about like how he started a business. He was a business owner, and he kind of sold it just because it was like he basically like made all of his money and was well off. And was like, I don't need to do this anymore because I kind of don't like this. So I'll just teach because I like teaching and I have a daughter, and it'll be great. So he just kind of was there because he loved it, and he was a super sweet guy. It was a thing where it was funny. I think he low key shipped me and my friend, because whenever we'd go to class together, or whenever like she wasn't there, he would like ask me like, "Hey, how's she doing? Do you have where is she? Is she here out here today? Well, like I see you guys are sitting together a lot, kind of thing." It was so I think that was pretty funny. Uh, yeah, so he was cool. I liked him, and then Mr. Pagano, old Pagano, was basically the same thing, kind of like business owner, owned like a factory or something in Mexico, and then it was like killed by NAFTA. NAFTA killed his factory, and so he became a teacher because he said, whatever. He didn't need the money either. He was just, I'll just whatever, I'll teach. Um,
Okay.
and he was great. Because again, I love hard ass teachers. And those teachers that I liked because they were like, they're not gonna take any of your dumb bullshit. And I was like, yeah, you do it, teacher. You tell them not to take their dumb bullshit. But then he also was fun whenever he decided it was time that he didn't need to give a shit, and he'd tell us stories about how he almost got drafted to go fight in Vietnam, but he like got out of it somehow. Or that one time he was really drunk in high school and like was at like this club, and then the club got busted while he was there, and then he like escaped in a car and was like being tailed by a cop car because he thought, like, oh no, I'm gonna get caught. And then the cop car like skidded off the road because it was icy, and it fell off the cliff. He's like, oh fuck, what the fuck, did that guy just die? He didn't know what to do, so he just left.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it was like a whole thing. He had some crazy ass fucking stories when he was a kid. Um, and he was funny. He was a funny guy. And those are both classes I passed those AP exams, and so I look very highly upon those teachers because those classes were hard as fuck. I had Pagano for like AP World History, which was not that bad, but AP European History was what I had for him senior year. That was really really hard. Um,
I uh I didn't take any AP classes. I was told by Mr. May that I should take AP World History because I did so well in the class, but I oh god, here's another James thing. It's just like I liked being told that I was doing really well in the class, and I was afraid that if I went to AP that would stop. Uh I liked being the best in the class. So,
Jesus. And so you're
yeah.
the best in the boom boom classes.
Yeah, yeah. I was the best in my world history class. Um, And I remember there was a point where I got like 100, and I was, and they said, "Oh, good job, you were the only person to get 100." I was like, "Oh, I mean, it's not that hard." And then everybody in the room was like, "Shut the fuck up!" Like
Yeah,
actually telling me shut the fuck up. And it's like,
that's
oh,
that sounds like James. That
oh.
sounds like a James thing to have done.
Here's my other favorite high school memory. Getting Mr. May to play the epic rap battle of history between
Oh
fucking
God.
Dawson, or not? No, I'm sorry, not Dawson, but Gandhi and Martin Luther King.
Okay, I actually have another high school memory that's it's my
No way,
favorite
I wanted to
because.
explain the reason
All
how
right,
I got
yeah,
him to do it.
all right. So you go
I
do
got
that.
him to do it because that video had just come out and it was hilarious. And Mr. May's wife is Indian. And there's actually some
Oh,
pretty good like Indian culture jokes in there, like Gandhi practices non-violence because
yeah,
naan is a type of flatbread in India.
yes, I have eaten Indian food before.
Yeah, and I told him
There are
about that
there's some
joke,
non-bread in my fridge.
and I told him nice, and I told him about that joke and how, and like how there's not really any cursing going in the video except for like I think in some cases once, um, and I
James out
said
here
that
thinks thinking he has the N-word card.
it's fine. Um, and then yeah, it was uh yeah, we actually just happened to be learning about Gandhi at that time. It's like, oh, this is perfect, Mr. May, you gotta play this, and he did. He played it. It was awesome. He laughed. It was great.
Well, at least he laughed because
Yeah.
that
Oh
would
yeah. No, he
otherwise.
laughed.
Okay,
He
good.
yeah, he watched it first to make sure like I wasn't doing like it wasn't bad.
Okay, that's fine then.
Yeah.
I was really worried for you when you brought this up. Um, I say
No,
that
it
this
was great.
other thing I say is a good memory to me because not because like it's not because I actually value the event that much, but because I think it's funny thinking about what other people in the room must have thought was happening. Um, so basically, there was this one teacher in my high school. Her name was Miss Fernandez. And
Mm-hmm.
she was my English teacher my sophomore year, right? And she was really cool. Like she was like a younger teacher, and so she was I don't know. Her class was fun. She it was right when Springboard was being introduced, and she fucking hated Springboard, so she would try her best to like not use it whenever possible to do her own thing, which was usually better. And at the end of that year, give she gave everyone little personalized notes or her feelings about them as a student, basically. And they're all like little thank yous, and like none of them were negative or anything. Um, but you could definitely tell which students that she liked the most based on how much or what she wrote. And like, remember it was the thing in my class, like me and Cesar, we both got like ones that were like multiple pages long. So that was interesting. So she was cool. And that must have made me feel good because as I liked her as a teacher. But my senior year, right, I had Miss Bunch for English, and she was right across the hall from Miss Fernandez. And I still would still like talk to Miss Fernandez in the hall sometimes, like after band or during like the in between band, like school and band. I would like be still at school. I occasionally
Uh-huh.
say hi to her like in the hallway and shit.
Oh.
Um, uh, and so she saw me that I had like Miss Bunch right across the hall. So a couple of times my senior year, where like in between periods, she would just come in to Miss Bunch's room just to talk to me, and she would like sit on my desk. And like
Oh.
it was a thing where I think about it like it was like really weird where I think about it in my brain that we like talk about we basically were talking about like Game of Thrones, we were like whatever you see Game of Thrones yesterday or whatever, but it must have been really odd because I remember people thinking like looking like uncomfortably at her and me because she's like on my desk and she's like talking like a schoolgirl. and
Oof.
it
Oof.
was just and it
Got
was
that.
just
Got that hot for teacher.
and it was just odd. I mean, it was completely innocent. We were talking about stuff we were watching on TV. She was,
It
but it was
wasn't
just
in it,
like
Skylar. That was your chance.
no. She was married, so I'm good.
And that was your chance, Stewie.
What whomst?
It was your chance. You could have
You
done it, but
you just called me Stewie. By the way,
oh, sorry,
in case you
Skylar,
didn't catch it,
Skylar, Stewie.
all white
It's all
people
the
look
same.
we all look the same anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll actually take that as a compliment. Anyway, so that works out. But I just think that memory to me is funny because I think about it like the kid who sat next to me, giving me a look, Yeah. Is it all you want to talk about? I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm like fighting. I'm currently fighting not shitting my pants.
Jesus Christ.
it's
Well, we're still on to drink, right?
it's gonna happen. Well, yeah, I have just
Okay.
a bunch of beer in the fridge, so I was just
Alright,
gonna
word.
get drunk and play some
Alright.
Celeste.
I think that was a good. I think that was. Oh, I wanted to watch Spirit Science.
Oh, we could watch Spirit Science.
Yeah, word. All right, so hey guys, thank you for checking us out on the Weekly Dadcast season 2.
Oh, I want to clarify that we're gonna watch Spirit Science ironically.
Yeah, ironically, for those of you who know what Spirit Science is, it's ironic, I promise. You're not gonna watch the latest episode of Spirit Science with me, Skylar, for educational purposes. What the fuck?
We need to get woke on Spirit Science.
Get woke on Thoth.
Isn't it Thoth? I always said Thoth. Maybe I'm culturally inappropriate.
No, it's Thoth. It's Thoth. I just mispronounced it. But hey, thank you guys for
Begone,
checking us out on
Thoth.
Thank you for checking us out on the Weekly Dadcast season 2. Hope you guys have been enjoying the new audio quality and everything, the new opening, the new visuals and stuff for all the guys watching the streams. Really hope you guys have been enjoying that. If you don't, let us know how you feel by emailing us at weeklydadcast@gmail.com, sending us a tweet over at twitter.com/@weeklydadcast. You can put a comment at weeklydadcast.podbean.com, where you can always download our episodes. They come out every Monday around 7:30 in the morning Eastern Standard. So, don't even worry about it. You can follow us on twitch.tv/weeklydadcast. We're also on Podbean. Or I'm not Podbean. Podbean is where we host everything. weeklydadcast.podbean.com. But we're also on Patreon. Patreon.com/dadcast. If you'd like to support us. All the money goes towards putting it's going towards hosting the website, hosting the podcast on Podbean, and getting better equipment for everybody. So it would be greatly appreciated if you just drop $1 in there if you want. If you want to support the podcast, you don't have to. It will always remain free. Thank you guys so much for checking us out, and I hope to see you next week. Bye.
Asta.